moved on. But it's like, dog, he still kind of just put up elite numbers, elite verses. So it will always make me feel like if you judging him, like when do you kind of, I think we'd have had this conversation before, but I guess when you really just be like, all right, cool, he really in the GOAT conversation. Like he is the bar. Because it's like everybody else kind of have laid the pasture and kind of, all right, like Hov, you're not expecting nothing from Jay-Z. Like even when you do, like people really wasn't feeling that whatever he just did with D'Angelo. So it's like when you have those moments, it's like Wayne still just rapping at like a different type of level. Like Wayne continuously just show up like, nah, I still want to prove that I'm the greatest rapper alive, just in case you forgot. Like I feel like he do this like every 2 weeks, like it's almost like a pay period. Like every pay period, Wayne will come out and put out a new verse to make you be like, nah, Wayne kind of really is better than whoever you thought it was. And it just even, and it's so crazy how like that whole little conversation we was having, I guess what was that, last week or 2 weeks ago now, about the Most Def and Drake situation. He was saying that I guess he was making target music. So of course 2 things surfaced. I guess Most Def was performing somewhere like one of these fashion week things, and then people would sit here. Of course, people was trolling him, reposting it like, "Oh, this sound like target music." And then Kendrick Lamar just did something. I think he did like a commercial or something for Chanel, and it literally sounded like real live target music. Like it sounded like shopping music. So of course, Drake fans was having their field day with that one. But my biggest thing is really just to talk about Wayne. Like I don't really care about none of the rest of them. It's like I don't even know who you could still even try to say compete with him now, because it's almost like I feel like this almost like his LeBron, his Tom Brady, like he in that type of realm where I'm just throwing up numbers so I can make sure nobody else never catch these numbers. Because it's just like it don't even matter who you look at. You look at, if you talking about like the Cams, the Joe Buttons, the Fabulouses, the Jim Jones, whoever, like all the rappers that was kind of out at that same time when Wayne was like like I'm talking about when Wayne was in like that Vibe cover magazine mode and he was just going so crazy. Like all of them have kind of realistically put rapping maybe second or third for them now, where Wayne is still rap is number one for him. Like his number one thing, his bread and butter is still rapping. Everything else to come second. Like I can do everything else, but I'm a rapper. I'm here to rap. I'm not really here to do nothing else. And then I just get happy as a Wayne fan every time you get to see like people just get excited. Every time you hear a new Wayne verse, you kind of just like, dang, he's still really kind of like putting up crazy numbers like year 26. And this is like realistically, let's just sit here and say if you're talking about 99, what is it, 99 or 98, whatever you want to put the Hot Boys at, you talking about like 25, 26 years now at this point. Depends on what actual date you put him at or year you put him at, but you're talking about he's literally been relevant for almost 25 to 26 years.
But is that with him? With maybe that's probably the only thing he making money off of for real.
But do that matter though? Like I'm sure. Like,
no, I'm saying, but that's probably why he's still putting out music, because that's his. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people branch off to everything. Like you said, everybody else been branching off, doing other things. So with him, if that's probably his only, you know what I'm saying, like he's not doing movies, you know what I'm saying, like he's doing his little appearances on shows, but for real, rapping is his.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like that's, to be honest, I feel like that's almost like the Young Money thing, and I think that's another reason why people kind of got to celebrate him, Nicki, and Drake kind of the same way. Like they don't get it twisted; they all have ventures into other things, but rapping has always been their key thing. And I think that's why they even hold their hat a little bit heavy on their braggadocious when it comes to the money they made, because they know realistically 80% of this money has came from rapping. Maybe another 20, like you said, okay, I dibble and dabble here. That's for all three of them. Like Wayne, Drake, and Nicki, all of them dibble and dabble and other stuff. But hey, my bread and butter come from me putting these words together. It ain't nothing else. So it's just like, yeah, he just different. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I heard that verse and I think people from New Orleans and like Louisiana, Baton Rouge will appreciate it way more, because of course he doing they playing on the word baby, and that's their, that's their lingo. Like, what up, baby? And like, so that's their little thing. So for them, they gonna appreciate it way more, because if you don't get that lingo, then you may not appreciate why they keep using the word baby. But if you familiar with the lingo that they use down there, then you kind of get it. And why we kind of even talking about New Orleans and Baton Rouge, shout outs to Kevin Gates. Man, I'm not really one to shout out Kevin Gates, but shout outs to Kevin Gates for having Drinker Gates, and she looked amazing in that dress. I don't know if y'all seen the picture of him and her. I think he got an album coming out, and they were just at an album release party, and they was like dressed up. It almost looked like a wedding situation. Like he had the like black and white tuxedo on when she had that fitted see-through dress, bro. She is one of the, and that's why, what's so crazy when I hate when people be like, always like talking about like the BBLs, and it's like I hate when people skip like the person that we all know for a fact we all kind of champion, and you can kind of see like anytime I see a Drika picture come down, like I literally see like how like on Instagram it'll show you the names, and that Joe be jam packed like a club, like everybody I follow be already up under her comments, already liking her Jones, like she's just a natural woman, like she's heavy on the vegan stuff, on just the natural herbs. And it's just like people like you can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, we all just like the BBLs. Nah, everybody like Drika, though. Drika. Like everybody like her. Like this not like she's one of those women is like you can't argue like she's naturally just beautiful and people just really like her a lot. And it's really just realistically off the she'd only do like a handful of interviews and it's really off the looks. So shout outs to her, shout outs to Kevin Gates. I am not mad at you. All the shenanigans you do, all the wild, crazy stuff you say in interviews, for you to be able to pull that one off, hats off to you. I can't even lie to you. I guess we could kind of dabble in real quick just for sports. Shout outs to the Buffalo Bills fans. I feel for y'all, dog. Y'all cleaned that situation up just for y'all to sit here and lose. And that is nuts. Like, dog, every game besides the Ravens and the Texans game literally came down to a field goal. Every game came down to a missed field goal, dog. The Green Bay Packers missed a field goal. The Bills missed a field goal. I can't remember how the Lions in the Buccaneers game wasn't as close as the rest of them other two. Down to a field goal?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm not. That's the only game I didn't. I was recording. I didn't pay attention to that game. No, you crazy. It was a touchdown. It was 31-23.
Yeah,
but that ain't a field. The rest of them was a field goal. Literally a field goal.
One possession game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, one possession game. Yeah, for sure. Like, and don't get it twisted. You have to kind of give Baker Mayfield some type of credit, and I do feel like that's yeah, but it's just some of them weeks where you kind of in one of those stories where other players' names is a bigger headline, so it's kind of don't matter. Like that's just how sometimes.
But just the point that you went to after Tom Brady and left.
No, for sure. Listen, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, if this was a sit here, or you was on a network TV show right now, and I watched most of them today, you didn't even get a chance to get to him because the bigger storylines, he ain't nowhere near. He not even gonna be in the top 5 storylines. So cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, you give him credit for the way he played out. Yeah, he followed, but nobody even gonna care. Nobody even gonna talk about him today. Like, it's gonna be like people probably talk about him next season going into the preseason. But right now, they're not talking about him. They're kicking Josh Allen back in. You're talking about Lamar Jackson. You're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's too many. The 49ers, Brock Purdy. It's too many other bigger storylines to even get to him. Like, even the sad thing is for Detroit to make it to the championship game, they still kind of almost got like the back end of all the stories today. At least for today, like, of course, moving on towards the week, then the people will start talking more about it. But I just do feel like Baker Mayfield really just didn't get no type of credit at all. But like I said, shout out to the Bills fans for shoveling that joint out 2 weeks in a row. And yeah, that's different, dog. And shout out to Buffalo fans for just keeping that, throwing snowballs at the Chiefs players after the game was over, trying to, like, literally live on TV, you watching Patrick Mahomes duck snowballs. Like, that to me was hilarious. Like, that was worth the whole entire watching the game. But like I said, we ain't got to stay there for too long. I do want to sit here and say to everybody who didn't, I'm disappointed in y'all. I'm constantly going to be disappointed in y'all when it comes to Rap-ish. And I always double down on why I don't like those blog pages, because everybody was so convenient for all of them to post Rap-ish got canceled. But I never seen y'all every week to week when this show was on for the 2 seasons it was on. Y'all wasn't posting the show. You wasn't talking about the show. So why celebrate a show's L and not sit here and help try to move it forward so it can grow a bigger audience? And like I said, I can't take all that blame just on the fans. I do think Issa Rae does have to take a large portion of the blame, because it was just like, why even go back to HBO Max? Why go back to HBO Max after you've already been canceled on HBO Max? You had a show that was already canceled on it. So it's just like, and I get it, like Insecure was a big deal. I mean, of course, you did your thing on HBO, but that was on HBO. And even I remember even when they was pushing that last season towards HBO Max, and I was just like, damn, like I was literally had to kind of like go out my way to like find ways to watch it, because I'm like, dog, I'm not paying for another service just to watch one show. And I think a lot of people felt that way. Like, even when I posted about the Rap-ish getting canceled, like, it was people on TikTok who was writing me like, "Oh, I always see you talk about the show, but I never got the chance to watch it because it was on HBO Max." And I do think sometimes, and that would be one, of course, tying it into like with the Taraji situation. That would be my biggest beef towards just with the social media people in general, because it's just something that they do. Like, they sit here and you try to like you try to recreate the wheel, and it's like, you know what worked. And I'm gonna keep saying that, like, stars work. Like, you know for a fact stars work. 50 Cent has proven that stars work, and that's even like I said with Taraji. It's like, y'all want everything to be completely different, but why not go with what worked? Like, we all know for a fact that stars work. 50 Cent has shown.
I get stars might work to you, but to the companies and everybody else whose money invested, it might not work for them. I get what you're saying, but the ins and the outs of it, it might not work for everybody else. Like, you're just looking as a consumer, but contract wise,
I mean, but to me, the consumer should be the most important person. That's who should matter.
Because I mean, for real, how many of y'all actually just paying for it just straight up? If you're not using somebody else or you're not getting it for free.
Yeah, but it don't matter. People, it's still okay. If let's just say for every 10 people, let's just say if it's 2 people who paying for it, and then the other 5, it still don't matter. Even just the conversation behind it.
But that don't add up when we go looking at the numbers at the end.
It do, because guess what? Everybody still do. Because even when NFL and the NBA, they still use social media to, when we talk about revenue, when we selling commercial ads, they sit here adding all of that. That your impressions on social media, that count. So that you can't.
Yeah, but sports and TV shows are 2 different things.
It's not. It's still commercials. What you mean?
But sports is every year. The TV show is not every year. So I mean, you're going to have a consistent fan base for those teams on the regular. A show is not, unless you keep doing good. That's the only way you're going to keep having fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I still disagree with. I don't think if you stars is 50 Cent been.
But besides stars, I mean, besides 50 Cent, what else is on stars that people watch?
I don't know, and it don't matter because he always keeps something there.
Saying, but you're talking from a consumer. How when the contracts comes out there and these other, it's not just like Taraji's not the only person. She works with other people. So if they're not saying, "Well, I don't like the split ends we got," like, "Oh, why we only getting this back in?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
but let's put, because before I confuse myself, let's take Taraji out. Let's just keep it on Issa Rae. If Issa Rae would have took Rap-ish and put that on stars, I'm sure that we wouldn't be talking about.
So that's what I'm saying. So what if Star says, "Well, I'm not giving you that front end like I'm giving 50. I've been dealing with 50.
Yeah, of course. Anywhere you got to go, you got to earn it. I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, you're going to get the same deal as 50, but it don't matter. You take the lesser bag to build for the long term. You can re-up later. You sitting here running to a bag and then it get canceled. What was the purpose of that? Okay, you got a bag from HBO Max. They gave you 2 seasons. Now what? The bag ain't there no more. It's canceled. They done canceled 2 shows of yours now. So what was the purpose of chasing the bag?
But that's what I'm saying. So what makes the stars so, because you 50 Cent, that's the only person who got that.
No, P-Valley.
But with P-Valley ain't came back on yet.
That was because of the writer's strike. And so they literally went off right during in the middle of the writer's strike.
I'm saying, have they gave him a date yet now?
I don't know. I ain't looked. They ain't came down my timeline. I'm like, not searching for it. But at one point in time, it don't. You cannot discredit, like, P-Valley wasn't a big show on Stars. It was. Everybody was talking about it. Every time it came out with the episode, people was talking about it all over social media.
But I hear what you're saying. But when you talking about the payout and what you getting paid, if it's not the same, why would you go to it? I might not give you that creative freedom on Stars. Like, that's what I'm saying. Everybody might not get that same leverage. I hear what you're trying to say, because you see 50 doing it, but that's what I'm saying. 50 been on it for how long now?
Yeah, so but I'm sure. But that's my point. What I'm saying is the same way. If this was the music business, if I'm sitting here if I'm trying to go to Stars and I know 50 already in bed with them, already got a good situation, I don't have to go in there and try to get my own deal. I can let 50 usher me in the same way if I was a rapper and I needed a co-sign from somebody. If I can't necessarily get the same deal, or I'm trying to go to Atlantic, but who the biggest artist on Atlantic? Oh, it's Cardi B. Let me try to go get a Cardi B co-sign real quick so I can get him out of situation. When all the rappers was first coming to QC, when the Migos was the biggest deal on QC, guess what every artist had? Even for Lil Baby, guess when he first got to QC, he had him Migos features. He had him a Quavo feature. Like, dog, every time somebody go to CMG, would you need that breakout situation? Guess what Yo Gotti do? Okay, I'm gonna do a joint project with them. So what do that mean? It don't necessarily mean, oh yeah, of course you may not get the freedom and ramp it and run. My only thing is with Issa Rae is I just feel like she kind of just like you sit here and tweet the cool stuff. Oh yeah, I'm rooting for everybody black, but you kind of act like you be wishy-washy when it comes to how you put out the content. Even when it comes to Rap-ish, when they was promoting it, why you ain't go to the Breakfast Club? You took everybody from Insecure on the Breakfast Club, but you didn't take Rap-ish. Like, what sense do that make? That is their audience. The Rap-ish audience is the Breakfast Club. While we talking about 50 Cent, I do want to play this clip of Carmelo Anthony real quick, giving 50 Cent his flowers, and I was just like, it was so convenient because that was literally sitting on my mind thinking about 50 Cent when it came to that Rap-ish. And shout out to Carmelo Anthony, because like I said, I felt that same way, and we had this conversation all the time. Even when we talking about what's Abbott Elementary won all those awards. I don't care. I can promise you, whatever that lady, what's that? I don't even know. I don't even want to be. I'm not being rude or whatever. But the lady who make that show, and she on the show, and she make the show, I guarantee you, she couldn't go nowhere in the United States of America, and she would be more popular than Tariq. You can take all those awards all you want, but ain't more people will sit here and run up to Tariq. Oh, can I get a picture, Tariq? Oh, Tariq, why you kill your dad? I guarantee you more people will run and interact with Tariq than they will with that lady. What else? I think like Quentin Brunson or whatever y'all think that's her name.
Some people don't live off of that.
Live off of what?
Off of that.
What's that?
What you're saying? Like that, what you're saying? I want people to come up, take pictures of me, or like some people want the awards.
Yeah, that's that whitewash stuff. Like you can't. Bro, all right, you can live on that hill if you want. That hill you're gonna live on, that's the same hill you're gonna die on, and that's the one that Issa Rae right now is dying on. If you sitting here chasing the wars, or you chasing, I need some debt check from white society more than I need with my own people, you will keep losing shows, and shows will keep getting canceled, or you can get a bunch of awards and nobody will never gonna care about you. People gonna look at you like, what's my man name, Wayne Brady or something. Like, it's cool. Like, you can chase that check, you can chase that award, you can chase whatever. The same way certain people look at Steve Harvey, like, yeah, you can play that game if you want, and it's cool. Like, you can sleep in a nice house, but to me, sometimes I'd rather sit here and have the people going crazy and knowing for a fact every time I drop the culture appreciate me more than me sitting here saying I'm worried about chasing the check. Excuse me. The checks could be cool, but I think that impact the 50 Cent guy, I don't care. If you had put people on a lie detector test and asked them, would you rather have whatever awards you getting, or would you rather have that success that 50 Cent got right now on it when it comes to TV shows? I don't care what nobody say. 50 Cent, I'm 9 times out of 10 I would say that they are lying. They had to go put their cell phone, what you call them little jumps when you go to the police officer, a lie detector test. I promise you, 9 times out of 10, every last one of them, if they sit here and told you, I wouldn't want that success that 50 Cent got, where he got our people in a chokehold. Like, dog, that's different. The same way everybody right now, just like if you sit here going like on Twitter, that's all everybody say, oh, the black people go crazy. If Baltimore, Detroit go to Vegas, oh my God, Vegas gonna be so lit. It's just, I hear you, like, it's cool. Like, you can sit here and like prance and dance, though. People know what they want. And you have seen so many people cry and complain when they don't get it from people like Wale or Ari Lennox or whatever. People gonna have their moments. Like, everybody, it's easy for people to hide and dance around it every now and then. Like, but then when you had them moments and stuff get kind of quiet for you, and you break down and you cut that Instagram live on it, you get the crying. Though it is what it is. And the shout outs to The Color Purple, to Raji sit here and apologize to the rest of the cast because she felt like she was taking away the steam for she was taking the steam away from the actual movie, because more people was worried about what she was saying instead of actually going to see the movie. More people were caught with the headlines of her complaining about the pay or her back and forth with Oprah and not actually going to see the movie. And the movie just it wasn't doing well. It's not doing well at all. And I think that is one of the things realistically that like that's it. Sometimes like I said, I don't know if people be reading the field, and I don't think people are financially blessed, one, to just keep, especially in this time we got right now, to keep running to the movies. So it's, again, when we're talking about just even if you want to keep putting movies out, like, some of you gotta make a little of them Jones a little bit more easier to access for people. Even if it's like, okay, I may take a smaller bag from Netflix. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, if you're gonna bag chase, then you can't be mad when these things flop and then be looking at, oh, I want the people to see. Because I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and what's that? I think Ava DuVernay, she was on there, and she was just sitting here saying, like, just go see it, because the movie wasn't even going to be in a bunch of theaters. Like, she know for a fact that people gonna have to search to figure it out. I forgot what, she just got a new movie that just came out this week, and she was just saying how people probably gonna have to go out their way to see the movie. But then it's like, why do all that? Why not just put it on Netflix? And I get it, like you said, sometimes the money may be different, but then sometimes if that's the case, if you already know you're gonna be set up for an L, then why not just take the L differently? Or why not put it on Amazon Prime? Like even with Issa or whoever, you can put it on Amazon Prime and just make the price like a more reasonable jump. Somebody if they want to watch it, they can just pay to see it right then and there. If this is like a $5 jump, I do want to see this movie. I got $5 instead of saying oh yeah, run to the movies. Because I have this conversation when I was doing an interview over the weekend. I'm like, though, a lot of people just don't be wanting to be real about their finances right now until we keep seeing stuff that we like keep failing because people don't got the money to spend. Like, it don't like everybody play rich, but then it just be like, damn, every time a movie come out or whatever the case may be, this stuff be flopping, especially if it's directed around just black people because people don't got the bread, but nobody don't want to say they don't got the bread until it's time to spend the bread. And then the movies keep failing because, we all on social media faking like we rich. So they looking at it like, damn, black people on social media act like they rich. They don't got a couple dollars to go see a movie. And they don't. And then some of them don't even got the luxury to even take off. They'll sit here and say, damn, I got to go to work. I got to keep working. I'm working 12-hour shifts. And I don't even get to go to the movie because I'm tired.
Some people just don't want to see it.
I mean, that too.
It's not like you shouldn't. People in school didn't want to see The Color Purple.
But I ain't even just saying that. I'm just saying movies in general. It's been Color Purple is the one that's, of course, the one we talking about right now because of the Taraji situation. But still, like, I'm sure people would have checked it out maybe if it was like on a Netflix jump, because it'd be so many shows that you can kind of, or like docu-series, like what's the girl that's going back and forth with Natalie Nunn? That's because she got something on one of them apps that everybody already watched. I think it's even on Netflix or Hulu. It's on one of them jumps. There was the girl, the Gypsy Rose thing.
She ain't getting paid off.
No, she ain't getting paid, but it don't matter. But the whole point is people know who she is because that is something easy. It's easy to access. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's a joint on Netflix called what is it called? American Nightmare or something like that. It's one of them like one of those little docu-series type of situations. Like, I want to say, is it American? Is it American Nightmare? It's American something. But I seen a lot of people talking about it. But of course, like I said, everybody already got Netflix. And while we talking about Netflix, shout outs to Vince Staples. Vince Staples got a show coming to Netflix in February. And he's one of those people, like, if you really into the podcast space, or if you've seen him on The Breakfast, if you've seen any Vince Staples interview, I'm sure that realistically you'd be like, damn, I wouldn't mind checking the show out. But he's on Netflix. That's something that everybody already got access to. It's easy.
Everybody got access. Netflix cracking down.
Well, I mean, people who got it. That's what I'm saying. If you've had Netflix, then you got it. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure people out here who don't got cable when they got Netflix. So that's something that's an app that's more easier for people to access that they got access to. Or even if you sit here saying, if I don't got nothing else to watch, that's it. If I don't have no cable, people got YouTube and Netflix. I'm 100% positive. I can go out on a limb and say there's more people with Netflix than it is people with actual cable. So, like I said, shout outs to him. And then, like I said, just even back to the Issa Rae thing, it's just, though, I get it. But you eventually gonna have to figure out something else. You gonna have to find a way to tap into your people, or you just gonna keep putting out shows and they're gonna keep getting canceled. Because HBO Max don't like that. Or what do they got? What else do they got that make you sit here and say, I want to pay for HBO Max?
No, they still got the barbershop on there?
No, they've been gone. They was doing stuff with Amazon Prime and ESPN this year for the football season. The beginning of the football, matter of fact, was it? Yeah, they was doing stuff with Amazon Prime. Like, you could have literally at the beginning of the season, the first couple of games, you could have LeBron James and them was doing the commentator. So yeah, like I said, they don't got nothing. Like, again, like I said, shout out to Issa, but that rap is getting canceled. And I guess before I change topics, I do ask of people, if you see stuff that you like, dog, share it. Like, I appreciate people who be like, oh, I'm watching this TV show, or this the new whatever I'm listening to, because dog, everybody don't be hip. And I know people try to act like they be hip to everything, but some people don't. That's why I told you I watch people Insta stories all the time to see what people are into. But it was so crazy because me and a homegirl of mine, she was like, dang, it's so crazy how many people in the comment section acting like they mad about rap is getting canceled. But then we was like, damn, dude, we ain't even know that many people was watching it, because you don't see that many people talking about it. So it's like, dude, was y'all really actually watching the show and acting like you too cool to even talk about it? And that's, to me, that's corny. And that's one of the things that black people do so much. Like, we'll listen to certain things, or you'll watch it, you'll be into something, you just trying to like keep it to yourself.
That's another thing. I mean, what is really the talking points on there where it's like, all right, yeah, of course, everybody was like with the P-Valley when that was a thing. Like, oh, well, did you see this episode? So, I mean, that also comes on them, is like what you have on there that making everybody talk about it.
But if you're watching it, you could. What I'm saying here saying is you could talk. If you watch it, you can talk about it.
But people can have conversation, but it still get drowned. Like that's what I'm saying. If you don't have nothing that's drawing attention to it, it's like, all right, yeah, we talking about it, but really, is it eye catching? Is it really trying to, draw people over there? Like, oh, did you see this episode? Did you see such and such? Yeah, we talking about it. Okay, it's blah, 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 but it ain't nothing really exciting. And people right now, they live off, what is exciting right now.
I mean, I guess I can't even. Then what's exciting then? What's the exciting show?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But when you say you don't see it on there, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is really drawing people's attention to it?
I don't know. I like the show, but I'm just sitting here saying if people who all of those
But
people
okay,
who were
so if
in the
you like the
comments,
show, but so how would you promote it? How would you sit here and say, well, yeah, you need to check this out? How would you promote it? How would you get other people to watch it?
I think just realistically, I probably would have paid for that promo on the Shade Room, and if you had to pay for it.
But I'm saying I get that, but how would you promote it? How would you tell somebody if nobody else, like somebody listening to the podcast right now, never seen the show? How would you convince them to watch it?
I just been tell them it's a TV show, just like it's basically based around the city girls. If you like ghetto ratchet stuff, if you like hip hop music and you like the backstory behind hip hop music, I would sit here and say go watch Rap-ish. But it's the female version of that to actually get to see how they even the seducing and the scheming, like that was what they were doing. They were scheming and seducing their way to the top of the music industry. They was finessing dudes each and every way. They're just slowly but surely they were taking their steps like that. And basically what they were rapping about, they were living out their lyrics. Like they were sitting here, I'm seducing and scheming. And that basically what the whole show was. From that to be their big song, for those 2 seasons, that literally was each episode for real. You was watching them basically sell sex, and they was literally using that to their advantage. Like, oh, we the baddies in the room. We're going to finesse it, get this beat from this person, or get this feature from this person. They literally did all that. And that was like literally all the rap girls that everybody like right now. They basically was just living their music, and you could watch it on TV every week, and you get to see the behind the scenes drama from the baby daddy situation. Like every little thing that people debate about and talk about on social media or get you going, it was literally that in a TV form, and it was shot like an Issa Rae show. Like it had some substance to it, like an Issa Rae supposed to give you, but it still had that new 2023, 2024 type of drama behind it. That to me, it was tight. That's something that I can say. If you actually like hip hop music and you actually are into the behind the scenes on how songs is made, how people caught their break, like how people actually struggle, oh, that was a show for you. Like that to me, even just the lingo and the whole man, I like that whole show. Like I'm very disappointed in them canceling. Like I really couldn't believe that. I was disappointed, and I was disappointed in Issa Rae. And I said that on the gift when y'all was even first telling me about it. I'm like, bro, I don't got HBO Max, and I ain't about to search to watch it. If you never got me hip to that link, I would have never watched it. Let that load up. Who?
I'm trying to see how much Embiid got.
70? Damn.
I'm breaking Kobe record. But see, that's crazy. You had all that.
And they only about 10. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he had 70, 18, and 5. Yeah, Victor had 33.
Seduce and scream.
Oh shit, Cat got 60.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Who they playing?
Charlotte.
Damn.
They up 10. They still number 1 in the West.
It's either them or OKC.
Yeah, they number 1.
You ready?
Ugh. Oh.
I don't believe it either, but it was just, and the crazy thing, and again, that's why I said I'd be beef, my biggest beef with the social media, Joe. And I thought twice about it. I was like, but I made a promise to myself, though, I can't sit here. If these stories out, they post them on the blogs, it is what it is. That ain't my place to sit here and save nobody else. But I don't believe it. Like, that's like,
is that even? Is it a flex?
It's a flex if it was real. Hell yeah, it's a flex. No, hold on, time out.
No, I'm saying with. So who is he?
I don't know, and that's why nobody don't believe it. And just one, you don't believe it because you don't know who he is, and then two, you don't believe it just because his demeanor and how he just up there rah-rah with some random girl and you on there with Adam and whack. It just don't make it believable. Now maybe if he was like a more popular dude, or if he was like a popular athlete or a popular model or TV show, somebody, like if it was one of those dudes that like everybody kind of already be lusty over, I think people will believe it a little bit more. But because she's such a low-key woman and you really don't really like, you're not into that whole little basketball wild situation, even if you are, and if you didn't catch it early enough, you still may not know who she is for real. Like some people, it may be some people right now who only know her as Pastor Keon's wife, or you may have heard, like, because her and Shaq ain't been together in so long, even though she got the last name O'Neal, I still don't necessarily know how many people visually knew what she looked like, because it just like, it wasn't like, I've been a Shaq fan, like when he was in Orlando, but you don't remember him with no woman ever until it got to like the hoops and all these other, like, I don't know. But it just, I think just because of the way she carried herself, and even me to see her a little bit more.
But that's why I'm saying, even it's like the flex is like, okay, you wasn't popping it when she was with Shaq.
Yeah, of course not. He's probably too young for that.
So that's what I'm saying. But now it's just like, all right, she, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Shawnee O'Neal no more.
She still got that name.
She still got the name, but she is not. That's not the same person. So you saying now, you bragging on it because you keep saying Shaq. You talking about Shaq, but if she's about to get married to this pastor and all that, like, that's my thing. It's just like, you wasn't popping her when she was with Shaq. So why would Shaq be mad at you?
I think because, I mean, one, because Shaq, let's just say hypothetically, if this was a real situation, one, because Shaq still speaks very highly of her.
Okay.
And he has even admitted multiple times that she was the one he let go.
That's his kids.
So he has said that. So I do think that realistically, let's just say if this dude was messing with her and he was, let's just say, all the same energy, you seen the video, I seen it, and everybody else probably was listening, y'all seen it, or you can go look at it and you look at the dude and you kind of, if I'm Shaq, I would feel some type of way, like, nah, what the hell? Like I would be beefing with her and you for, like, come on.
I would definitely check that, but my thing is just like with him, you're speaking on it, but it's just like, all right, if that's the pastor's wife, like for you to say yeah before she about to get married, like no,
yeah, that's
karma is
that's
like,
why
that's the,
so okay. So my question is then, let's just say let's just say we just playing hypotheticals. Let's just say if this was true, or you thought it was true, and you was her new husband, you passed the key on, would you even say something to her because I'm sure he plays social media heavy. I'm sure somebody sent that to his DM. Even if it's people who don't go to the congregation or nothing, it's just random messy people who be in these comment sections and they know his page because he is a popular social media pastor.
I don't think I would question her.
You would just act like you ain't see it?
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm not in the whole religion thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it will come forward if it's, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just be going like, well, did you know what I'm saying? Like trying to accuse her, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, no, I ain't saying you got to accuse her, but I'm just wondering, like, would you have some type of, and if I'm being honest, I wouldn't probably accuse her, but I would just maybe even jokingly be like, man, I can't believe that they sitting here posting this on this page like this real. And just see her reaction. Like, okay, if you're trying to keep it Pete and you ain't trying to look like an insecure man, or you're not trying to act like you're questioning your woman, you could send it to her like in a joking way. Like, oh, look at what these blogs posting today. Like, they just ain't the devil always working. I throw something slick like that into it and see what her response would be. And then if she be like, I used to know him back in the day, he is over exaggerating. Like, I don't even know how you check that allegation. And that's the crazy thing. Like, that's the crazy thing, that these little stories could linger around and then people be like,
yeah, I don't think that, especially just off of him. Now, if I look at the bank statement and I see 50K missing, then we want to.
But you got to think about, she had her own money. I don't know if they got a joint account already.
Like I said, if I see the bank statement, I see 50K missing.
Oh, tell me, you think that she would share a bank account with him?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying if that will make me question.
Yeah, but how you gonna look at it? You gonna ask her to see her bank statement?
What I'm saying is if I came across that, then that's when I'm questioning, like, well, whoa, what happened to this? You know?
So you saying if you see this video, you gonna go check and see if she ever took 50K out?
I'm not gonna check, but if I see it missing, that's when I'm really gonna have to.
One, I don't think they share bank accounts because I feel like Shawnee O'Neal kind of already had her own bag. I feel like that sharing bank account situation is more. If you ain't got your.
If you got stuff in play, and you good.
What you mean? If I got what in play? Like, I already got my own
houses or whatever, you got to share that information.
Before but you told me he said this was 2 weeks before. I don't necessarily know they were sharing it then. They may share a bank account now.
That's what I'm saying. When you about to buy a house and all that, like all that information got to be shown. So that's what you go through that whole process. So, and you talking about you're about to get married. You got to sign the deeds and all. So I feel like some way, somehow.
Then I guess I'm just thinking, like, two people that's that successful. I wonder, like, do you even?
Yes, you might have a separate side account.
Yeah, we got to, though. I got too much of my own already going. Like, one, I'm sure she still, whatever bread she probably still was getting from Shaq. I mean, I don't know how her kid's kind of old now. But even if she was still getting some. Also, that's what I'm saying. So if you still getting money from Shaq, then yeah, and then I got you got to think about it. Though she owned that basketball wife, that's her stuff. That basketball wife, that's her situation. That's a huge situation. I'm not sharing no bank account with you, and I still got this. This is me. I may not be on the show no more, but that's still
right.
Yeah, he him, but I don't know if he him to the point of that basketball wise ain't no joke, dog. Like that ain't nothing to sneeze at. That ain't like no little chump change of the Pac situation. Like that's a real deal. Evander Holyfield, like that jump been around for a couple years now. They might be at like 10 or I don't know how many years. I'm gonna just sit here and say on guard on a limb, and at least say it's been out for 10 years or better now. So I know that bag is crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
Man, you tripping. I don't know. You gotta think about it. Look at how you gotta think about how many people geeking to get on them shows. So if they geeking to get on the shows.
Not on basketball wise, because it's not that many people that still got the same goddamn people on it.
Yeah, but again, going back to what you just said with the 50 Cent situation, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to erase what worked. Why would I'm not going to switch my cast members out if I already know what worked. But they bring new people. Brittany Renner was on one of them. I don't know. So that's my point.
But
so
that's
they bring new people.
Now they're starting to branch out because you see everybody else having success with different areas. Remember, basketball wives was just basketball wives at one point, but now they got basketball wives. Orlando, LA. You know what I'm saying? They got different branches. Like how they got Love and Hip Hop,
of course,
different branches or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what the bag is, but I'm sure that bag is crazy. I'm sure it's some M's. I'm sure she make M's off of doing that show. I don't necessarily think she would keep doing it. And if because I got to think about it. If I'm her, let's just sit here and say if it's not M's, and if I'm the pastor,
M's a year or not serious.
Yo, M's a year.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
Because that number that what's the dude from Black Ink Crew threw around how much money he said that joint was coming through off of TV advertisement and all that. Basketball wise, way bigger than Black Ink Crew.
But then you got busted all down, right? I don't think it's just you getting that down, right? That's just the whole.
I mean, I don't know. I've never.
See, that's why I say I think it's kind of tricky with some of these companies, like because let's just say, yeah, I'm giving you this for that network. Let's say we giving you $2 million a year for that series, and then that you got.
Nah, you ain't giving her no $2 million for that series. Ain't no. You have to think about it. She's married to Shaq. I mean, she was married to Shaq. It's just certain things like from Shaq the way he behaved when it come to business, he ain't going for that.
But what I'm saying is even with that. The people on there, it's not too many of them like actual wives on there. Most of them are old, not current. You know what I'm saying?
It depends. Like the Doug Christie wife, ain't Doug Christie be on there?
Right, but Doug Christie ain't done nothing since God. That's what I'm saying. Look who the people they still hold. It's not like LeBron James' wife. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody current.
I get what you're saying, but let's be one, because the current player not going for that, and the current player is still getting a check from the NBA. The NBA probably not going for that. So that's one, and that's two. So it's just I just think I can't sit here and say because they got older people on it. The show been going on for God knows how long. So yeah, of course, them people they still gonna have older people in it because those are what they call quote unquote the OGs. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna move on from these people, but I'm not about to sit here and think it's like, let's just sit here like you say, what do Doug Christie do? Every time I see them, if I see a clip, they still in a big house, so I'm sure that woman is putting something into it, and she ain't no slouch neither. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know the real breakdowns to it, but I do just know like that him saying that is crazy, and it's just like, how do we even stop stuff like that from coming out almost? Because like if you kind of, I mean,
see, but that's my thing when. Everybody be talking about they on man time and they, they this and that, but you sitting here spilling the beans. Like you won't snitch on your homies, but now you sitting here putting her business out there.
Yeah, because you don't care. Because you probably feel like she too big to even address it, which 9 times out of 10 she is. Oh, clout is a hell of a drug. You saying it's crazy. We just talked last week about how much money Chrisean was getting. Like, dog, people need to eat. Same way we talking about how people don't got money to go to the movies and to pay for every subscription.
With you, I ain't gonna snitch on my man.
Yeah, because my man might kill me. But you think I'm not going to sit here and give out some bedroom stories and I can get a couple bands for it? You crazy as hell. Because now, guess what? He just said that. Now, I guarantee you the next person who going to want him to come on this show, they're going to pay him.
But then if they say it's a lie, that she comes sue your ass.
Yeah, well, guess what? Then you get them. But guess what? That's a nice alley-oop right there for Tasha K. She's sitting here battling 2 situations at one time. She's sitting here playing the ultimate hot potato between Kevin Hart and Cardi B. Cardi B just sat here and said, Tasha K hiding money, so she can't get her stuff. So she got her, her money changed somewhere else. She don't know where her YouTube money is going somewhere else, because I guess whatever bank account that she sued, the money ain't coming through there no more. But Tasha K still uploading on YouTube every day, and Patreon or whatever else she got going on. She's still uploading content. Kevin Hart literally just put a cease and desist, and he trying to get the court to make her take down her YouTube interview with, I guess, whatever his ex-assistant was, and they denied him on that one. So, but my whole thing of it is, it's just like, I hear what you're saying, but just that clout can turn to money fast if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it'll go to waste. You just got a bunch of clout and you can't turn it into money. But a lot of people know how to turn it into money now, because if I get popular, look at Dr. Umar. Joe Budden got one of the biggest podcasts in the world, but he still had to pay Dr. Umar to come on it. Like, so you like it's, hey, I get it, but I understand why, dog, that clout hit different. You can catch you a little bag and you can sit here and turn, like, it's different. I hear you. It sound crazy, and it's just like, oh, this is ridiculous. But man, that's that clout a hard drug to turn out. Why are we talking about Whack 100? Now I'm not gonna play the clip of this one because it was a long story, but it was basically a story floating around, and of course, if it's Whack 100, it started on Clubhouse. So it was a story he was sitting here saying. He was basically saying it to try to almost where it was like he was trying to expose Offset needing some backup, but he basically at the same time he was throwing salt on 42 Dugg name. So for people don't know what I'm talking about, Whack 100 said it was a story of Offset and 42 Dugg shooting dice, and the dice game basically went left. 42 Dugg started cranking Offset and just tried to walk off on the dice game with the money. He, like, I guess at first Offset was winning, then 42 Dugg started coming back, started cranking him, and then when 42 Dugg started to win his money back, he just like, I'm cool, I ain't shooting no more. While Offset was still on dice.
What's the rules on that?
You can't leave while somebody else on dice. So just because like you sitting here already done won your money and they on, if Offset on dice, you can't not say I'm done until you get back on dice. So he was trying to leave while Offset was still on dice. Like, basically, no, I'm cool. I ain't betting with you no more. But you basically got, you ain't even give Offset a chance to win his money back with nothing, or just be like, I'm done, whatever the case may be. So 42 Dugg was supposed to just walk off. And at first he was back 100, like Offset just kind of was just stuck. Like, is he really trying to like for one, people don't know 42 Dugg is from Detroit. Offset is from Atlanta. So this was happening at QC Studio. And this was before, I guess, even 42 was even had a big song with Baby or whatever the case may be. But 42 Dugg still had a buzz in Detroit, so I'm sure he had some bread. He had maybe a couple people with him, but of course he's not moving like he moving now. So then, basically, long story short, Whack 100 said that Offset punched 42 Dugg one time, and then went in his pockets. And then Whack 100 was like, when he seen that 42 Dugg looked like he wasn't ready to like swing back, but he was ready to grab the gun, he got in between them and broke it up. So then, of course, 42 Dugg had his. He did, and this story been out for like a second, but basically why Whack 100 was bringing that up, because he was trying to say that's what led up to the whole story people have heard of Offset getting stripped butt naked to by a Lil Baby and his crew. Basically, it was supposed to be retaliation for the whole situation that happened with 42 Dugg. So, but 42, of course, and people who know, like, and I've said this even when Takeoff passing, nobody don't really look at the Migos like they gangster rappers or they super tough guys. Not sitting here saying, because I even seen people write back, like some girl wrote me on Twitter, was like, you act like they only make gangsters in Detroit. I'm not saying that the Migos was soft, but it's a difference between, hey, I'm willing to fight, and I'm really on some rah-rah gangster stuff. It's a complete difference. There's a lot of dudes out here who fight, but if you sit here talking about going to gunplay or whatever the case may be, then they excellent stage left. That's just not in their demeanor. That's not who they is, and that's not no knock to them. Yes, you can go on YouTube and it's endless videos of the Migos fighting, and it's endless videos of Offset popping off first. So even that story of sitting here saying that he may have even stole 42 Dugg, it's not that hard to believe, because I done seen Offset steal random people a lot of times, especially before when the Migos was becoming the Migos, when they were just getting their feet wet. No, Offset was popping off when niggas jumping off the stage and everything. So I understand where that could be true, but at the same time, I do kind of understand where it's like where 42 Dugg got upset at, like, dog, damn, you sitting here trying to give somebody gangster brownies on me. This ain't even who they are. You ain't never heard no gangster stories from them, but you trying to make it seem like he pulled a gangster move on me. You trying to water down my whole who I am and my persona, how I give it up. That sound crazy. But the thing is, he threw in that whole situation. You talking about somebody went in my pockets who got stripped buddy ball naked. He trying to make jokes of what happened. So realistically, it like the story get murky, because it's like, all right, well then why did he get stripped butt naked if that ain't what happened? So you trying to say some of the story true, but not all of the story true. So I mean that situation was kind of in the air. Offset of course never said or denied the story, which, because I mean it kind of go in his favor. Of course, him getting stripped naked at the club part, that don't go in his favor. But and like I said, that's been a story that's kind of been lingering. If y'all ever seen when Cardi B and Akbach was going back and forth with each other, that story was kind of floating around. Then she kind of threw that out there, saying that 4PF stripped Offset before, and that's why people made a big deal about Quavo coming out doing Lil Baby birthday, because it hasn't been no Lil Baby and Amigos features or nothing in a long time. So that was the first time that Lil Baby or any of the Migos have touched the stage together in some years, because of that little situation that people outside of Atlanta may have not known until more, of course, people start hearing stories, and then it'll be somebody like Whack 100 who not from Atlanta and tell the whole complete story. So, but even when he was telling that story, he made it seem like, oh yeah, 42 Dugg didn't want to fight, but everybody who was with him, they literally pulled out guns. Like he basically was making, like he seemed like he got in between, almost like damn near a shootout. Like, of course, Whack 100 is a big dude, so he basically like he grabbed 42 Dugg. A
little dude, but
no, he's not. He ain't little at all. He used to play offense. He used to play Whack 100. Now I ain't say 42 Dugg. I'm saying Whack 100.
He looked short.
I don't know what you seen him like in a video with Game or something. Maybe next to Game, because Game is a huge, like Game could be like.
He looked short to me, like the rest of the rap. Like, he looked short.
I don't know. I haven't seen no picture of him in a minute, so I don't know what you were looking at. But he's a big dude.
Ain't Akademiks short?
Yeah.
So like I said, I think I seen him in that picture.
You might be right. I haven't seen a picture of him in a minute, so but he's a wide. I don't care how he's built like a jail dude. So people who know how stalky them jail dudes is, like what was my man that played what's the ball headed dude? Oh, the dude that played not Terry. Now he ain't that. Terry Crews is like almost like next to like running up with the Rock. But like what's my man that played on Baby Boy? He built like that dude, like the dude that played Melvin. Whatever Melvin, the dude who played Melvin on Baby Boy. He like that size, but Whack 100 is a stalky gentleman. So he's basically like he picked up 42 in one hand and got in between Offset, telling Offset like, "No, you need to go inside the studio," whatever the case may be. But I mean, it is what it is. Nobody will realistically know the story unless a video come out. And Whack 100 did say it is a video. Now I don't necessarily know if the video will ever come out, because if it was at QC Studio, I'm sure P still makes money probably off of 42 Dugg in some type of sense because he still make money off a Lil Baby. So if that story is true, you kind of realistically, I wouldn't put it out because it's no win for me. Okay, if people see this happen to 42 Dugg, then it kind of gives it more lenience to that Offset story may be true of him getting stripped too. When now, even for the Offset story, it's still all of it still he say, she say. It's not no real video. Nobody ain't never seen it. It's just
he speak on it too.
Who, Offset?
No, that time when him wasn't it going back and forth?
Nah, he ain't never speak on that. Not on that situation with Lil Baby and Offset. No, he never spoke on that.
But he spoke. But he remember he said something about Offset, wasn't it? Wasn't it him?
Nah, nah, hell no.
Who was that? Who was that was going at him? I thought
going at Offset.
Yeah,
that was a Jay Prince.
Oh, that's not the same.
Yeah, hell no, that ain't the same. No, hell no, that ain't the same person. They ain't got nothing.
I was say I knew it was something. Okay. Right.
Yeah, no. Let that load up. Let me piss real quick. Submarine. I guess while we talking about Migos and we talking about 42 Dugg, 42 Dugg did have a official welcome home concert in Detroit over the weekend, and he brought out everybody from CMG, from Glorilla, ESTG, Black Youngster, and of course Yo Gotti. And of course, for people who don't remember, of course we talked about it and spoke on it last week on the tragic shootout with Yo Gotti's older brother. So my thing is, and of course Yo Gotti came. I mean, he was performing, and he had, like, you could see clear as day, like he had a bulletproof vest under his shirt. He had like a cream white shirt on, and you can see the bulletproof vest just sticking out. So my thoughts was just like, damn, it's just so crazy how you kind of still gotta just keep going with business like as usual. Because, like, bro, that's like that situation was a tragic situation. So it's just like I was so surprised to see him still just kind of like still be out there performing like right after that. Like, that's crazy to me, because I just don't even, of course, most people know, and none of us want to think of, like, have to still just kind of move on with life after such a tragic situation, especially when you talk about death. It was just kind of crazy to even see him on stage. I was just like, damn, like, that's just nuts. And then I guess while we talking about the Migos, Chris Brown was at a fashion show sitting next to Quavo, and I guess the picture got out, and then people thought that they were cool. And Chris Brown, I'm not gonna lie, this is Chris Brown. This was like some real light skinned behavior, because it was like, dog, why did you have to come out and tell people that y'all wasn't cool? Like, did you have to address that? Because one, Quavo is not a social media type of person. Like, he ain't going to say, oh, no, we not cool. We just had to sit here because this was assigned seats. Like, what was your purpose that you felt like you had to express that? What? What you mean? Why would I feel some type of way?
With his ex or something like that?
No, they ain't been together in years.
So who is it that they?
No. At one point in time, after Chris Brown and her broke up, yes, Quavo did used to date Karrueche, but no, that relationship was short lived. And of course, don't get it twisted. They did have that little incident, I guess, after one of them award shows with Amigos and Chris Brown was about to get into it. Cool, but my whole thing of all of that still, I think that happened. I think I seen a post that say that happened in 2017. No, it's 2024.
Shit, still bring up the wrong shit. So that's what I'm saying. So I just feel like, I mean, he didn't act on it. So I think, but he just saying like, I feel like somebody playing with him.
Why? Because he made him sit right beside him?
Yeah. But you can control who sits in those seats.
Well, he said he couldn't.
Yeah, he couldn't. But whoever put that together.
But okay, so let's be real. Let's just sit here and say if it was a Louis Vuitton fashion show, you think the people at Louis Vuitton know that Chris Brown and Quavo beefing still? Or even had real beef?
Right, but I don't think Dave was the one who set it up. The person, your people, whoever you go, your connect was the one who arranged. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't necessarily know that because the reason why I say that because in that situation, it was Chris Brown, Quavo, and DDG was sitting right beside Quavo. Like, I don't sit here and think that they probably just say, okay, we want these people on the front row of our fashion situation. Like, I don't necessarily know if they knew who was going to be sitting right there or they cared or even to knew that they was beefing like that. Like I said, 2017. Like, bro, that's a long time ago. You told me that was 7 years ago? Like, who really was sitting here thinking about y'all two beefing? And why, even if that was my whole point of what I'm saying is, why do you even have to address it? Because people was like, oh, they cool. So, okay, cool. Why you just gonna let people think y'all was cool? Like, why you try to make it like, oh, it's something is really smoke? Because how much smoke could it be? Because you see here, I seen a post where they were showing up like an Insta story or something where he basically was sitting here saying that he why didn't they let Chris Brown play against Jack Harlow and Quavo? And Chris Brown was like, because y'all would have cooked both of them. That was a number a couple years ago. So if you was willing to still play basketball against him, how much is it really beef? That's my point. Where I was like, bro, that's just some corny. You being corny and light skin. Like, dog, you literally went out your way to tell people that you and him still not cool because nobody was thinking about that. And y'all was literally sitting like knee to knee, like y'all knees was rubbing. That was just corny. But my only thing is you wanted to address that, but you ain't want to sit here and address the room that when people sit here and thought you and Sweetie was at the USC basketball game together. Him and Sweetie. They went to go see, of course, Juju Watkins. The only place y'all ever gonna hear men talk about female basketball. And we're gonna get into Kayla Clark in like 1 second because she did the ultimate Karen move. But yeah, again, they went to a USC game. I think it was USC versus UCLA. So of course, all of them are California schools. Sweetie went to USC. Even the picture, I think it was even it was a seat in between them. So they wasn't even like literally Quavo and Chris Brown was sitting closer to each other than Sweetie and Chris Brown. But of course, people see too. And that's the only thing, if I was a celebrity, I know, especially if I was a woman, that would piss me off if literally like I can't go to a basketball game in peace and you sitting here saying, oh, we together. Like I said, this girl sent me this jump because of course, y'all know when that video of James Harden doing the high five situation was floating around, and I think in my video I said Savannah would never. So this girl tried to send me a jump where it was like a video. It was Savannah, LeBron James' mother, and they was at a USC game, and like this younger boy came by and gave like Savannah a hug, and then gave LeBron mother a hug. And when she sent me the video, she was sending it to me trying to be sassy, like, "Oh yeah, I thought Savannah would never." I'm like, the boy that looked like came and gave her a hug, he looked like he could have had a little sugar in his thing. And then I'm like, dog, LeBron James' mother is sitting right beside him. He gave Savannah a hug and then gave LeBron mother a hug. So what you think he flirting with both of them? Like, what are you talking about, dog? Like, this is a kid giving two grown women a hug. Like, come on, you trying to find anything right now. You reaching, like, cut it. Like, let's be serious. Like, cut it out for real. Like, we just seen Savannah curve. Too many people who even try to get pictures with her, and she wouldn't let that rock. So for her to get that little boy a hug, I'm sure he know them or something completely different for whatever that you trying to send that video and make it was something that it wasn't. But yeah, so that to me, that Chris Brown situation, that was corny. Like, Chris Brown, like, you just be trying, like, you be wanting to prove that you so tough for like no reason. Like, bro, you are Chris Brown. You don't have to prove to nobody that you tough. Like, nobody care. Nobody looking at you as like you the toughest and roughest dude in the world.
Some people live their life though.
It's cool. You can live that life, but you don't have to. If you live that life, guess what you don't have to do? You don't have to take it to social media if you really live that life.
You're right.
If that smoke between you and him was really that deep.
But that's why I even say, I like with certain things, how it just be crazy to me. Like, will you be quick to tell a story about X, Y, and Z, but then you won't tell on your man, or you won't, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. But everybody be quick to run the internet. Oh, but you see such as, you know what I'm saying, like that's the thing. It's just like what really is reality or what is really snitching. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like all of it kind of comes the same way.
Yeah, I mean, but I hear what you're saying, but the consequences of actually snitching and cooperating with law enforcement and you just snitching to social media, making something hot, is just completely different. Like the repercussions of those two things is like completely different. Like those two things just don't go hand in hand. But again, since you threw the alley-oop talking about snitching, we can pull this up real quick. So for people who don't know what you were just listening to, of course, the Young Thug trial is still going on, and his man's still on trial on the stand. And basically, what the one of the lawyers was trying to say here and say was, well, since y'all sit here and say that Thug stands for whatever under God, give me a song where Young Thug has even mentioned God in his lyrics in a positive way. You ain't even got to break. It don't even have to be the whole situation of the definition. Just tell me a song that I can go to right now where he's even speaking about God. And of course, he had a hard time because he couldn't think of nothing on the topic, which is kind of crazy because you're trying to get somebody like, it don't matter how much music you listen to, especially the more music you listen to, the harder it is to just remember lyrics off the top of your head. Because I couldn't do it right now. Like, if that was me, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't know what Young Thug this song to even start with. But she kind of was trying to get her issue off and try to prove that point.
Because I would have asked her the same thing. Can you name a song that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. You put me on the spot and I'm on the scene. But if you on the same spot, all the face jail time or whatever, and I'm asking you that same question, can you sit here and think of a song?
No, of course. And that's why
you can't even remember what you did the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my only thing. It's like, yes, you under pressure. I don't, you know, I'm thinking like, a lot of people, when you ask them to finish the line,
of course, they can't do it. No, they can't do it. They can't do it. No, and that's the crazy thing. And he was just like, "Are you gonna give me a second and let me go look up some music?" Because I'm sure, realistically, Young Thug may have a song where he has mentioned God or something. The case may be, but you just sitting here saying like you asking me to freestyle it. It was just like, so then she hit him with the okay, well, pushing Peter. Since you said it was pushing positive, it sounded like on that song all they was talking about was selling drugs and selling Percocet. So where's the positive part out of pushing P? What was the positive line from pushing P?
Making money.
Well, she had him stumped. I ain't gonna lie. Those questions seem crazy. And of course, we talking about just randomly while you in court, and you talking about like he said, though, I've been in here for months. How you expect for me to sit here and remember any of the stuff you asking me to remember? Like just right here on the spot, it's just not gonna happen. So again, that's just that Young Thug trial just dragging out way longer than what it actually needed to sit here and drag out for. But shout outs to Meek Mills was catching hell, dog. Meek Mills is maybe absolutely the most craziest dude when it comes to Twitter. Like, bro, he don't have no type of common sense. So Meek Mills tweeted out and said, "Hey, where do people in Nigeria? How do y'all listen to my music? I'm trying to figure out how y'all be getting hip to music." So of course, people on social media start trolling him, like, "Oh, we listen to it like when the Lions started to play it, or when we scratching rocks together. How else you think we listen to it, genius?"
Same nigga who got his phone snatched up, right?
Yeah.
Gone. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
But that's a dumb question, Mark. Like, it's 2024, though. What do you
mean?
How do y'all listen to music? How do you think they listen to music?
His phone snatched when he was over there.
Oh, but you got to no. But just think about it, though. How you know how stupid that sound is? Though?
I would have said that when we snatched your phone.
Dog, this man said, "How do y'all listen to my music over in Africa, dog?" The same way. What was some of the other jokes that they said? Oh, normally I use rocks here. Normally I use rocks, but on good days I use trees and the person swinging on the by the vines. Well, it depends on the season. In the summertime, we hear through the trunks of the elephants. In the springtime, giraffes to catch the signal and play it out the loud of their butt. The giraffes knock on their heads on the tree trunk. Don't worry about it. I'm coming. And the cows, the goats, or the choir. We don't have any music on the streaming services in Nigeria. We have this guy, and he's the only one who access to Spotify, and he's on the town circuit, and he comes every Friday to perform all the new songs that came out this Friday, including yours, off of Spotify. So that was just like, but my thing of it is for Meek is like, dog, you do realize that Nigerian artists get big in Nigeria first, and then how you think we get their music, genius? How we make me wanna make me sweat? How do we get that? You idiot! Like, are you like? Come on, dog.
It is called the World Wide Web. So I mean,
like, nah, dog. Like, you can't be that stupid. Like, no, like, serious, me. Like, you can't be that dumb, dog. Like, what made you sit here and say, "Hey, what made you think about it?"
And then one of the richest out there?
Hell yeah. They are the scammers. What are you talking about? How do they know? The better question is, how do y'all be scamming everybody when you come to America and know what cities to move to hit people over the head? Ask people in Houston how they get their music, or ask people in Atlanta how they get their music. What are you talking about, you idiot?
I think it's just when you looking from, I guess you're looking from a different lens.
What's the lens? Help me.
I don't know.
I'm not the smartest person in the world, but that just sounds insane, though.
It do sound insane, but that's why I'm just saying maybe he's looking from a different lens. With in the hood, we ain't had this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't have an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably looking from the project. Like, you didn't have so much things, so he probably thinking they're less than what the project was. Like, of course, we got high rises, so it's like, 100 of us there. Of course. But y'all living in tents, and you know what I'm saying? That's probably what he thinking.
Okay, I will probably. I'm with you on that one. I'm cool, and we can let that we can even let that shoot him some bill. I would even go with that if he ain't never been to these places. Like, if he was just a kid from Philly who ain't never traveled no before and ain't got no passport or nothing, I'm with you on that one, because you're absolutely right. Some people probably, like we was even talking about the streaming services, how everybody don't got Netflix, or everybody don't got Stars. We may be watching it on the bootleg app or whatever the case may be. You're absolutely right. So if you're looking at it from that lens, where it's like, man, I know people who can barely afford a cell phone bill. So if you thinking in your mind is, oh, Africa people got it even worse, more than, let's say, Southeast. In every city, Southeast is messed up. So if they got it worse than people in Southeast, and people in Southeast could barely, listen to music or got phones, and you kind of looking at it a little bit more crazy. But you can't think like that, and you are a world traveled artist. You've been to these places. You literally just got your phone stolen there a year ago. So you've been there. You know how it is. So why do you sit here and try to act like you haven't seen? Because of course, if I'm just one of those people, $1 a day or a penny a day to feed this kid, like, yeah, if I'm that person, that's the only form of Africa I ever seen, then I get it. But though it's 2024, you were just there 2023. It's no way that you actually said this out of your mouth. That's crazy to me. And then it would probably even not be as crazy if some of the biggest artists that we have today, even in our culture now, from Tim's, the Wizkid to Burna Boy, all of these are African artists. Mm-hmm. How did we hear about them?
And shout out to Burna Boy, the first African
to perform at the Grammys. Yeah, that's a big lift for him. And shout out to Travis Scott for shaking that goddamn Astro World stuff off his name. What you mean? He performing too?
No, I'm saying I still don't know how they was still trying to.
I mean, but they did. They tried to put it on him, but he shook that demon off. Like he shook that demon off. But yeah, shout out to them. Like I said, Meek Mills is just a nut job. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, sometimes I'd be like, bro, I know I ain't got it all upstairs, but this dude. What's on the Fabio? It went crazy. But my other thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I definitely would have forgot about it.
That's what I kind of thought. That's probably why he was talking about the whole stream.
He be having a lot of little miscellaneous, like, I do, the crazy thing is, I do, and that's why sometimes I hate that some people are too cool or think they too cool. Like, he's one of the people I wouldn't mind being on a podcast, maybe not on a week or on a day-to-day or weekly basis, but if he just did like a pop-up like once a month and even sat down with if he even sat down with Gillian Wallow, if he sat down with Joe Budden, whoever, because I do think Meek is at a place where he kind of have a lot of thoughts and he done seen a lot of things and he probably trying to figure out how to express it, but I don't necessarily think he's like, I'm one of those people like, I don't feel like I know I can't, that's why I didn't play Twitter heavy, never, because I know for a fact I can't, the way I can talk, I can't type it out. So I do feel like he's one of those people where you may just need to just get on a podcast and just talk some of your thoughts out instead of trying to run the Twitter. But again, like what you was asking about the Fabio and Meek jump, I like the song. The song was cool. Fabio went crazy on the jump, but my only beef with him was, and it just seemed like he was maybe not indirectly, but directly talking to some of his friends, where he was kind of making it seem like I made it, y'all can make it. We all got the same 24 hours, and that was the name of the song. But it was just like, I don't like people who speak like that. When you was one of those people, you needed an assist. Like that Mace deal, Mace was giving you a bad deal. You would have never had that deal if Mace didn't give you that assist. So you can't sit here and try to like talk crazy to people when they looking for the same assist that you got. You needed an assist. And don't get it twisted, like maybe you felt like you didn't gave up enough assists and people didn't do, because even in that, he had a line in that song, he said that was one of the biggest things he regret. He bought his homies chains before he even bought his kids like stuff that expensive. So maybe, so that's why I kind of like, I was giving him a benefit of the doubt about it. I'm like, all right, maybe he has looked out for people, but he just didn't look out for them to the point where they feel like he should still be looking out for them. Because I get it, and I think that's one of the, I guess.
But sometimes I feel like, why can't you can't express yourself? And let's say like, all right, yeah, we all got the same 24 hours. We do. Mm-hmm. Technically, it's true. And you saying don't kick them down, but it's like, damn, I've been taking care of these niggas, and then it's like, look at the back end, it's only me.
Oh, okay, but my pushback to that will be is the difference between when somebody, especially with artists who come up off of gang culture, you need those people behind you throwing, even if you tied into like the 6ix9ines, you need the people in the videos that's throwing up gang banging all the signs, throwing up the flags, throwing up the guns. You need them because that allure that they're giving off in your videos is what's elevating you. It's not the music like 6ix9ine or even Fabio. Y'all not the greatest rappers in the world.
And then how long is going to last me? Because then once that buzz died down, then what I got? Now you niggas not there no more because I'm not making the money. I didn't sit here and spend all my money on y'all doing these trials and chains and all this shit. Y'all getting snatched. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now when I ain't got shit, y'all not there to help me out. I'm in there in the slump.
Yeah, I hear you, but at the same time, some people don't. Only reason why people don't look at it like that because guess what? You still always on social media though. Let's just say if you was really going through all that, but you still on social media being flashy. You talking about how much money you got, all these chains you bought. So it's like
that's that male ego, right? You're not gonna sit here and say you depressed, but then I ain't gonna be like, oh, you saw you.
Yeah, well, so then you got to eventually have a real conversation. You can't sit here and get mad at me for not knowing that you're really going through something. If you are portraying yourself a certain way when it comes to social media, if you still get on social media and act super flashy, you can't be mad at people for asking for some bread.
You said that a couple of weeks ago, like why we can't express ourselves and show, the rough parts we go through. Mm-hmm. But that's as a man, you know what I'm saying? You can't. Oh, well, now I'm going through.
I can't sit here and say that you can't because you can.
But my question to you, right? If you saying I'm in that whole gang culture, and so now I'm sitting here talking about I'm depressed and all that, do they really want to hear that? Your crowd, your audience.
No, I'm not. No, you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not sitting here saying you got to tell it to your audience, but you should be able to tell it to your friends, so you don't need to ever have to feel like you. He even on that song, he was saying, "I feel like I only can express myself on Instagram." Like, how do you feel like that? If you listen to what I'm saying, if you were comfortable enough,
you got those yes men, or you got those people around you who really don't have their best interest at you. So if I'm sitting here talking to, and a lot of people get off at that, I can sit here and talk to complete strangers and get their point of view or listen to what they're saying, rather than talking to the people. Or you just here because I got the money.
But then my question will be is I can't I'm hear you, but I can't sit here and say these people were here with you just because of the money, because they were the people who were behind you when you didn't have no money. When you needed them in that video to look cool, to look tougher, you didn't have no money then. You were trying to get it. You were trying to get on. You were trying to get people to look at you. So that's my only thing is where I'm not a fan of. Let me sit here and sit here and say we all got the same 24 hours. If I was taking some of my 24 hours, help pushing you. Yeah, we do got all the same 24 hours. We could have all said, screw you and not getting this video, and let's see where you be at right now. If you don't got that gang culture behind you, let's see if you still the same Fabio form. You wouldn't be. You're not Lil Wayne, you ain't Meek Mills, you're not a great rapper. The gang culture is what push you to the forefront. The same way we like Chief Keef. And that's why at one point in time, people in Chicago felt that way about Chief Keef. Like, hey, we was the ones who pushed you. We was the ones who was co-signing you. We was the ones flagging and throwing up sets, putting guns in your video, and then you got hot and you moved to California. For a long time, Chief Keef was going through that because a lot of people feel that way, especially when we talking about the gang culture, because they understand people ain't stupid. Like everybody in Chicago, let's bring it back into Chicago. Everybody at that time, every video, if you just go on YouTube and put Chicago 2010. So every video had a bunch of dudes with a bunch of guns and gang flags or whatever the case may be. And then that's even how for somebody like Akademiks. That's why he even came up with the war in Chirac. Like all of that stuff be mattering, especially if that's what you're pushing in your music, because your music has to be sellable now. Like it can't sit here and be like, oh, I go to you talking about all this gang, and you sliding and all this, and then I go to your video and then it's just like in some big suburb community, and it don't look like you would have seen no op in a million years.
So then that's my question. When even like we take like the Jesus situation, I remember when you spoke on it, he was like, well, I don't want to hear about, what you used to do. It's like you're a different person now. So is it a time frame on them, or you just got to keep going with the whole?
I just think it depends on how good of a rapper you are. I think it depends on how good of a rapper you are and how honest are you willing to be in your music. Because I don't get it twisted. I still want to hear a good Jeezy verse when he talking about selling dope. I'm cool with that. But it got to be featured on somebody young verse. Like it can't be just him by himself. Yeah, he got to get on. Like, let me do a song with ESTG, or let me do a song with 42 Dugg, or whoever the case may be, and let me kind of still be able to get into that snowman bag. But for somebody like Fabio, he's still kind of very new, and I understand where his frustration can come from. You're absolutely right, because I don't think realistically his friends probably think he got more money than he actually got, because when realistically he had a big song in God knows how long. He don't get it twisted. That last album was fire, but guess what? To the masses, it wasn't. He didn't catch a big song over there. Like he caught that joint with him and Coi Leray, but it didn't still get as big as it probably should have. That song cranked like hell. That Say My Name, like it was what is him, Coi Leray, and Queen Naj on there. That song was fire, but that song still didn't get big as his last song. So I'm sure, real. But if you feel like you too cool to really break that down to your man and explain it to him, like, hey, this ain't do that. But like you said, that's the male ego. That's you not wanting to take time to actually explain. I don't got it like I'm trying to portray it, and even being honest with your man, like I'm getting on social media the way I'm still trying to portray an image, but I really don't got it, and most people can't do it because you can't do it with your girl. So of course you don't want to do it with your men, because then you feel like, especially in this day and age, going back to the Shawnee O'Neal thing we seen, saying you can tell somebody something too honest, and then they run to social media for clout and sit here and try to expose you. So then so your male ego won't let you allow you to do it because you scared somebody gonna try to expose you for how your situation may be going. And I'm not mad at him like that. I'm sure we all deal with that, because you want to, even when we talk about with dating, you want to be very careful on how you express yourself, because in this day and age, you're scared that, hey, somebody's going to hold this over my head or expose me at my lowest point. Because everybody cool with telling how messed up they was when you get back to the top.
So then that's my question. Is it a time frame on there? How long can I keep going with this story and not show growth? Because like I said, I can keep rapping about me, my struggles and all that. But then when is it? All right, damn, where's the growth at? Because
you can't show no growth. But I hear what you're saying, but you can't show no growth if you haven't made it to the next level to show growth. If you still literally maybe one bad investment or one slow feature or show month, and you may not be in the projects no more, but you ain't sitting here living in the biggest houses in your city neither. You may be just like in the in between. Like that's what they is poor, poor, middle class, and rich. You may be realistically living in a good middle class neighborhood. You're not where the rich people at yet. So you saying here, I can't change my music and go pop too fast, because it's like, okay, if you go pop too fast, then you get put in that conversation of, all right, well, you chasing radio hits, then you could be like the Travis Porters or all the one-hit wonders, was you chasing a hit, and then you don't have, or Soulja Boy, perfect example. Like Soulja Boy, let's be clear. If y'all ever sit here one day you just bored, just go on Soulja Boy Apple Music. Like if you talking about, and if you just listen to the actual hooks and the beat, take it away from being Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy probably could be one of the biggest ghost writers today. And I ain't talking about for the lyrics, I'm talking about just for his hook and his beat. Matching up ability is top tier, but the stuff Soulja Boy talking about sliding and this, nobody don't believe you. So it's just like you letting good hooks go to waste, where if you put your ego to the side, you can shop these beats, or you can find new artists from some project or some hood that got 20 dudes who can get in the video with them and be flashing guns like the Fabio. Hey, I give you this hook, just sign this contract, whatever case may be, and let me get whatever percentage off. But Soulja Boy got too much of an ego. He want to feel like he can still deliver these songs. Now you just got a bunch of songs sitting on your Apple Music and your Spotify and your YouTube going to waste because nobody listening to it, because you making songs that nobody don't believe. So it's just a little bit different. I don't necessarily, you can jump that gun too early and try to clean up your image and clean up your music too early. And then what if you never get that commercial success again? You're going to flop and go faster. But if you continuously at least keep talking to the struggle, like a Boosie, you kind of got that audience for the rest of your life. Because it's going to be all, like we talked about it before, it's always somebody struggling.
But my question is, how authentic is it? Because if I'm not going back to the hood, well, I'm not even around that anymore.
But it's not necessarily not saying that you're not. Because perfect example, look at what's my man from New York that got caught in the RICO charge. Dark skin big dude. I can't think of his name right now. I'm thinking of Taxstone, but I can't think of Troy. Not Troy. Yeah, what was the other dude that was affiliated with both of them? Damn, Casanova. If you looked at the way his girlfriend was living and they was in a big house and he was tricking off on her, but realistically, he wasn't making money off the music. That's how he got caught in the RICO. He was getting money on the streets. He was doing the gang affiliation situation. But it was still all gang affiliated. That's how he got caught. He got caught on a gang on phone tap. Even when it was tied into Taxstone, it's them having conversations on a gang phone tap. So that's just my whole point. Is like, yeah, you can't. We don't necessarily know when these artists are fully out the streets because you don't necessarily know how much they're really making off of music.
Yeah, I mean that's why I always ask the question is just like, how long can it really last? Like, I can get it, you can rap about it for years and whatever and all that, but it's just like, damn, I'm not really on the block no more.
But you assuming that you don't necessarily know that's the truth.
What, they're not on the block?
Yeah. You assuming that. Okay, if I'm not making no money off of music.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but do you judge it like, all right, success wise, your goal is to get out of the hood, right?
Of course.
So but when you get that money, well, I'm not still driving my cars in here. I'm not going around the neighborhood with the chains. Like that. That's why I'm asking you. You want to see out the hood. So when you do, it's kind of a lot of them. I'm not coming back in here.
Yeah, but no. Anyway. I get what you're saying. I think that's for people who realistically who have really made it. Everybody ain't necessarily really made it, so you can't sit here. Oh, it's so many.
But then what is really making it then? Because if a record label give me, okay, I'm gonna front you $3 million for whatever XYZ, you made it.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I front you $3 million for. Let's say I give you $3 million, and now you're on a 10-album deal.
Okay, but you made it because you ain't have shit in your.
I hear what you're saying. You still got to pay taxes on that $3 million. Yeah. You got to buy a house. You got to buy a car. What if you never sell another album and nobody never want to? That $3 million got to last you for the rest of your life. You $3 million ain't gonna last you for the rest of your life unless you still. Guess what? No, guess what? And when the only way it still lasts you, if you still live in the hood. But if you sit here and say I got $3 million and I go buy a big house, now how you gonna keep up with that house?
Well, who's gonna live in the hood with $3 million?
Dog, it's people who sit here and work in middle class and probably still feel like they live in the hood and they may clock in $200,000 a year.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about in the hood, in the projects. You still with $3 million in your account, you're not living in.
But how long is the $3 million gonna last if you don't got no more money coming in?
But that's my thing. Even the mindset of people right now nowadays. Once that hits your account, you're out of your first thing.
Yeah, but so guess what? That's the same people who hit the lotto and then they be broke 5 years from now, and they hit the lotto for $300 million.
Right, but that's why I say, I just how long is that hood mindset? Well, I'm gonna stay in the hood. I'm gonna buy the block back. How long is that really gonna last? And I feel like a lot of people. Really I feel like a lot of them. That's their true colors. Like, I'm not really about this hood life. I'm just, I wanted the image. Now I got the image. I'm gone.
I mean, maybe for some. I don't necessarily know if that's for everybody. You can't put everybody in that box. I don't think everybody's situation is the same. And you can just tell by how some people look at Boosie. Dog, Boosie been rapping for how many years? Boosie been famous for over 20 years.
Yeah, but he ain't living in the hood either.
He ain't living in the hood, but he's still ghetto as hell.
Yeah, I mean, you can take the ghetto out of people, but you ain't in the hood risking what you.
No, of course not. But at the same time, for somebody, let the jungle up. But for somebody like Boosie, he kind of just know. He already kind of like he
I can have a hood mentality, but I'm not going to risk my life trying to be in the hood.
I hear you, but again, what if realistically you just you haven't seen, or you're not comfortable with the success you got? You still may feel like I can't completely turn my back on the hood because I may literally just 1 year back from being here.
You can always go back.
Yeah, you can't go back if you turn your back on them. Yeah, you can go back if you keep it cordial. If you still act the same when you got the $3 million, you can always go back.
Is that necessary? You turning your back on them?
No, if you got $3 million and you start acting funny like you better than everybody else, you're not coming back.
When people get their income tax, they start acting funny.
Yeah, but you still live here, dog. Yeah, it's a difference between acting funny and you still got to come home every day. When you acting funny and you move out and then you got to come back and then you was acting funny, you was giving everybody your butt to kiss and you was acting like you was better than everybody. And you was coming through pushing these cars and you was faking on people on Instagram and all that. And then you got to come back, dog. Niggas is going. Then you gonna look, but so okay, and then that's why a lot of people get killed and get robbed. You keep saying it sound like a lot of them, like, dog. What's the outcome though? What's the outcome? Look at how many basketball players. You think these niggas want to get up every day and be on ESPN? Hell no. Guess what? And their contract was bigger than $3 million. You think if I sit here and try my whole life, don't get it twisted. Some people are passionate, and then you can tell some of the people who be on ESPN, they literally just there for a check. It's a complete difference. You see the difference. You know the people who passionate, and you know the people who there for a paycheck. You can see it clear as day. Yeah, but I guess let's switch gears a little bit. We can kind of like dabble back into sports real quick for a second because it was some big games and some, I guess, almost historic record-breaking numbers going on. So real quick, it was a game going on while we was recording right now. The San Antonio Spurs versus the 76ers, 133-123, and Joel Embiid had 70 points and 18 rebounds in 37 minutes. So I guess realistically, and what was Wemby numbers? Wemby had 33 and 7. So in 28 minutes. So I guess the question that you had basically was it was so crazy for him to have 70 points, but the game was still a close game. Because 10 points in the NBA, that's not no real blowout. That's still, you know what I'm saying? It's still a decent game. I guess because I seen somebody sit here and say that before, like recently, I forgot. It was some Instagram page I was following. They were saying how it's crazy how some of these numbers, these historic numbers that players putting up, it don't necessarily equal wins.
Mm-hmm. Like Devin Booker. That's 74.
Oh yeah, they lost that game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But I guess it goes one.
I think it's just more of a when you look at the numbers, like, all right, you scored 70, but you shot the ball 53 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what really makes it like, goddamn, nigga, you shot all the damn shots.
I can't look at it.
And for you to say they had 133, you had 70, so you had more than half of their point.
Yeah, basically. Ain't nobody else have a real crazy game. And I guess when you even look at numbers like that, I guess you can kind of even almost draw that back into like somebody like James Harden, like who I wouldn't want to play with nobody else, and that's just like we gotta get you the ball that many times, dog.
What you mean you gotta get the ball? Nigga, Jamal Embiid always had the ball.
But that's my point. So it's just like, no, you got to think about, you got to think about how much of an ego you can't have to play with somebody like that.
But even like, I meant to get on when we was talking about, I forgot who we were talking about. And you was like, well, Shaq will punch the hell out. I think we was talking about Angel Reed.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, but you got to think about it. Shaq was in a system then, and even when that system that he was in, it was around him.
For sure.
So that's why I say some people. I mean, like a Joel Embiid, he is the process. He is that team.
Yeah, so, he is the team.
I'm touching that ball. And now that's always been his downfall and why those teams don't work, because your butt is outside shooting jump shots instead of being down the post doing what you're supposed to do to demand the double thing. So then I guess realistically, hindsight looking in, can you be mad at somebody like James Harden who won out? Because you still James Harden. No, you can't be mad. Yes, I can be mad at you because I mean you keep doing it. When are you really happy? Because you just doing it because you like even when not necessarily OKC, you didn't have no choice. You was a rookie,
mm-hmm.
and that was their deal. But Houston, where you after that?
Brooklyn,
and
now the Clippers. That's Philly. It. Oh yeah, and the Philly, and then the Clippers.
Yeah. So
I guess, I guess the thing to me would be almost you can kind of tie that into dating. It's like, when are you ever actually really happy? Because people do the same thing when it comes to dating. When it comes to dating, a lot of people,
you ask for a lot, and then when I give it to you and I present it to you, you still not happy.
Yeah, so it's kind of
because that's my thing. And even when you always be screaming about that Houston team, when he was on that Houston team, they was all stars. All of them, Nene, Trevor Ariza, all of them was on that team. It wasn't like it was a bum team. He didn't carry a bum team. Chris Paul, all of them he had on that team.
They wasn't bums, but they wasn't.
That was a good team.
It was a good team.
Nene, what's my man Kenneth with the dreads? Like they had it was a stacked team. Eric Gordon, like they had players on there. Everybody played their role. It wasn't like you just took a bunch of poo putts. It was a well put together team and with coaching. and it fits your system. But see, and that's why I think it's just me. What kind of like when people ask what kind of frustrates because you keep asking to go to these other places, and people are tearing down their teams just for you to turn around. Oh, I don't want to be here no more. And I think that's why people are so frustrated with James Harden and Kevin and stuff like that, because I'm tearing my team apart for one player where I could have just built around instead of, you know what I'm saying, tearing them down.
For sure. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just I'm just giving you pushback and just seeing what you thought. What you said, what was Cat? How much Cat had tonight?
I think he ended with 63. It was correct. Yeah.
So they lost.
Oh shit, they did.
The Hornets won to 120. So that's again what we talking about right now. Why we?
Yeah, 62. Oh, your boy had 18 and 13.
Yeah. Who had the? Oh, so Miles Bridges. I about to say I knew. Oh yeah, and damn, the rookie had 27. Shout outs to Miller. That was his. I be forgetting he even on that team sometimes. But that, again, like that, but that's what going back to the original conversation we was having. Sometimes where it's just like, and that's why I'm not a fan of the stats thing. Like, and people, and of course, I had people arguing with me today.
You're not a fan of stats, but you always called out the stats.
But I think if you actually are watching the game, sometimes I think the stats can be misleading. Though I think for stats, I mean, from when you're talking, sometimes you got to kind of just address the stats. But I think if you living and dying on stats is like okay, perfect example. And the reason why I say this because. Of course, I mean, for people who pay attention, or if you are like the Lakers or you kind of pay attention to basketball, you have seen D'Angelo Russell, people call him D-Lo. He's in the trade room as heavy for Javonte Murray that plays for the Atlanta Hawks. So a lot of Lakers fans, because of course, for this month, the last 5 games, D-Lo has been, outside Anthony Davis, has been the second best player on the Lakers every night. Even the nights when LeBron playing, D-Lo has still been the second best player. So people are kind of even seeing his body language last night after he had like 34, and you can kind of like see he would look like he was kind of crying, like on the sideline or something. Like, damn, I just hooped, and these niggas still talking about trading me. But then you see people first thing saying he inconsistent. But I'm saying, okay,
your work ethic is not the same.
But cool,
I get it, and that's my thing. I think even when you start screaming out the numbers, yes, I can score 40, but okay, I need you to do it on a consistent basis. Oh, I need you to stop their best players. Every night, when you're playing with a player like LeBron and AD, yes, we need the help on the low, but we also need you to pick up on defense, to stop their best score, or to score 20 on a consistent basis. So you can't sit here and tell me, oh, I'm only going to give you 5. Then the next game I give you 30. Then I don't give you no points for 2 games.
Okay, so cool. So to go back to what you were just saying, but then that's the same thing. Well, again, when I said I seen somebody, and that was the point that they made about LeBron, where it's like LeBron scoring 30 in this generation. It don't matter no more because he ain't stopping nobody no more. LeBron ain't sitting here. He not no lockdown defender no more.
I don't need him to be a lockdown defender. He's still a team. He's still a floor manager. Control the tempo. Who's the point guard? Is it D'Angelo or LeBron? LeBron is still the point guard on that team.
Not when D'Lo on the court. He not.
And that might be a reason why the trade needs to be, you know what I'm saying, bought up, because I can't put both.
But I hear what you're saying, but my whole thing of it is just
because you're supposed to take the pressure off of me. So if LeBron is down, guess what you're supposed to be doing? Running the show. You supposed to be, but I can't put you in the game if you're not scoring.
Yeah, but my thing of I hear that, but then my realistically is somebody who watch all the Lakers games, none of them are consistent. So I don't like the word people throw around with D'Lo and saying he's not consistent. But guess what? People did, and the people like, hold on,
that's why we got this situation we are now.
So that's cool. Then you can't sit here, don't just point the finger at me. If that's the case, then put Anthony Davis in the goddamn trade conversation. You get more back for him, but then you can't get for D'Lo.
But guess what? He stays hurt. You're not hurt all the time. You're younger than him. You don't have that big contract either. So you're more trade valuable or trade worthy that I might be able to get another asset. I can add you in the trade room, but Anthony Davis can't go for so many plays because he has a big contract and he stays hurt.
But so I hear what you're saying, but realistically, so that's my point. If you trade D'Lo, you're not getting nothing back from him that's going to change the
it can if you get more pieces though.
But you're not. The Hawks only want to give up Javonte. I mean, whatever Murray, and that's it. They don't want to give up nobody else.
Okay, but I would take Murray because Murray plays defense. He's a perimeter defender, and he still can score. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I am. Nigga, he the first or second option on 90% of the nights of Hawks games, and he ain't done nothing.
He done won 3 games straight.
But guess what? He still ain't scored more points than D'Lo, so I don't care.
But what are you trying to? Are you want to win or you?
Oh, they won 18 games. I don't care.
But he just won 3 straight by himself.
And what has D'Lo done? The same thing.
They haven't won 3 straight.
They ain't want. It don't matter because everybody else ain't showing up neither. I'm not taking the majority of the shots. I'm still playing with these other players. The perfect example. Hold on.
Look at Atlanta's team, right? And you're saying, like I said, they only won 18. That's the only 3 games behind the Lakers.
And guess what? But is my so all the blame is supposed to go on D-Lo, not Austin Reeves. So let's be honest. You only want to keep Austin Reeves because he's white and he can sit and people like him.
Hey, I didn't hype him up. That's my thing. It's just like when y'all sit here and say, "Well, I'm tired of people," but that's who y'all chose to pick. You chose to pay Austin Reeves, whatever his name is. You could have let him go to San Antonio, but you chose to because you saw that premature. You know what I'm saying? What he did in the playoffs.
Cool, but my whole thing of it is I'm not disagreeing with none of what you're saying, but my thing of it, I'm just me personally, somebody who watched the game, and I see for a fact the only person when you give him the opportunity, he ain't ducking from the spotlight is D'Angelo Russell. Yeah, he started to be in a slump because you keep talking about, he's still a human. No, the same way he literally just scored 34, he was on the bench crying, and Rui Hachimura, both of them looking sad because both of their names keep being in trade rooms. Oh, they human. Like niggas ain't trying to keep getting traded, and I'm hooping, and that's not my fault. You talking about trading me, and Cam Reddish is boo boo, Vanderbilt is boo boo, Prince is boo boo. Like you saying, here talking about trading me, but what about the rest of these niggas is poo putts?
But now, like I said, you been poo putt now. You have no trade value. So that's what I'm saying. D'Angelo is in the talk because yes, you still got some trade value. You still, putting up your numbers or whatever. I want you to keep doing it. So now
I'm telling y'all right now, I'm cool on the Lakers if they trade. If they trade for Murray, I'm cool. I'm not talking about them. I don't give a fuck what they win. I'm cool. LeBron go eat a dick. I'm cool. If you trade him, I'm cool. I've watched too many other niggas that would play with him and you get traded and then they sitting here balling somewhere else. I'm cool. From Kyle Kuzma to Brandon Ingram, like dog, I'm cool.
You got, and that's the sad part about it. When D'Angelo was in Brooklyn, that's when he made the All-Star. He ain't seen the All-Star since, and that's when he was hooping.
Yeah, because he got to keep playing second fiddle to everybody else.
But that's where you wanted to go. That's the places you choose to go.
Like he never traded. He didn't. How he want to go there? He got traded. All the places he went, he never was no free agent. What are you talking about? No, he was not.
What since Brooklyn?
No, he's never been a free agent. Boy, he got traded to Minnesota. He got traded from Minnesota to the Warriors, and he got traded to the Lakers. No, he got traded. He got traded to all them places. He ain't never signed as no free agents. Yeah, they don't matter. They gave him a contract. It don't mean he was a free agent. He got traded. He got traded from Brook. You got to think about it. When Kyrie and them came, he got traded. You're absolutely right. Yes, he carried that Brooklyn team, and that's my point. When people keep acting like he's some bum, like nigga, he carried the team. When he was the go-to guy, he carried the team, and he was on the All-Star team. Now you see,
that's what I'm saying. He can score. We know he can put up the numbers, but now on this team, like I said, you got to do it on a consistent basis.
And so do Anthony Davis.
But Anthony Davis been playing great.
Yeah, that's now. What did he didn't show up in to get this? People bring up the playoffs. The same series that D-Lo went missing. Guess who went missing right beside him? Anthony Davis.
Right, but that's why when you say why is he in the trade talk? He's younger than Anthony Davis, and he stays healthier than Anthony Davis.
I mean, it's cool. I'm sure I don't want to drag it out too much, but it's cool. That's my PSA. If the Lakers trade D'Lo, I'm cool. LeBron can go to hell. The Lakers can go to hell. I never was a Lakers fan in the first place. I was only there for LeBron, but I'm cool on this one. Like I don't know. Same reason why I'm not a Wizards fan or not a Redskins fan. I don't do the stupidity in the front office. If you show me stupidity, I'm out of here. I might root for OKC, or I might even be a Clippers fan. Like I'm cool on the Lakers. I swear to God, they trade D'Lo, I'm cool. You can pencil this one in on whatever's the day's date. What's the day's date? What's it? The 22nd? Yeah, I'm cool. I'm absolutely cool on the Lakers. But anyway, going back into other sports news, talking about women's basketball real quick. Let's just talk about Caitlin Clark. And this, let me tell you how vicious sports media is. So for people who don't know, Iowa, of course, Caitlin Clark is the young white girl. They call her the female version of Steph Curry. She's been hooping. She's been balling out. She's another person, score a bunch of points, can't win no games. This was her third 45-point game, and they lost. They lost to Ohio State. Of course, Ohio State is the Buckeyes. They lost. They got a young lady. I can't pronounce her name, but her jersey number is like number 32. I think she's the center of the power for Ohio State. She had 33, and Ohio State won. And of course, but the story, everybody skips the part that Ohio State won that game and beat them, going in there as the underdogs. And because of course when they won, and let's be clear, Caitlin Clark is the Caitlin Clark effect. That arena was sold out, jam packed. I wanted to say it was like record breaking numbers for the Ohio State. Yeah, so the game was sold out anyway. They end up losing, and then the kids, of course, like they do with any college game, they rush the court. But her being a Karen, and this is, I don't care, call a spade a spade. People want to dance around, and she had her Karen moment. She tried to thought she was bigger than what college sports is. I don't care from football to basketball. You have seen this happen a million times. This ain't nothing new to these kids running. Like this ain't something before they ran on the court to celebrate their team, and she trying to play Billy Badass and like ran into a girl. And Ja like gave the girl a little shove, and then she tried to fall and hit her with a James Harden flop and sit here and basically try to make it like, oh, what did she ran me? She could have almost hurt me and try to get like carried off the court. Like, bro, stop it. Like we seen that weak flop you sit here and do. You and that girl barely bumped each other. You ran into her. You made
barely bumped. Them motherfuckers ran into each other.
But she ran into the girl. She could have avoided the girl.
I don't think that looked like a moment where nobody was paying attention. But it wasn't like we going diagonal.
So I felt like she could have avoided that girl. Like she could have moved out that girl away. She kind of.
But that's what I'm saying. But even with her, you talking about everybody's rushing the court, so you're trying to get out of harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
Which more than like most teams, when the opposite was they rush the court, you're trying to get the closest way out to stay out of trouble or anything that happened to you.
For sure.
So I don't think it was like, oh, I'm gonna just.
Yeah, but I felt like they was trying to put too much. They had a current moment. They tried to put too much sauce on it and try to drag it out like these kids.
And shout outs to her because I think she's number 3 on the all-time scoring in NCAA. She just passed Brittany Griner.
Yeah. Oh, no, let's be clear. She's gonna break that record. But my whole thing of it is,
I don't know. Do you know who the record is? Is it Sherman?
I literally just seen it earlier. I want to say it may be. Next time we're gonna break, I'll look at. I want to say I think it may be Kelsey Plum. Or Kelsey Plum is number 2. I seen the list, but I just can't remember off the top of my head what it was. But
yeah, I know she passed Brittany Griner.
Yeah, I look for that when we take our next break. But I do want to say I seen Kelsey Plum name on it, so Kelsey Plum may be number 2, but don't quote me on that one. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know I seen Kelsey Plum name on it when I was just looking at some of the articles when they was talking about it earlier. So yeah, that happened, and then of course, what else happened in sports real quick before we get out of here? It was just football, and of course for people. It was an article floating around, and I want to read it verbatim. And this is just crazy how big the world is. You want to know what swag surf is? Everything that you need to know about the Chiefs' viral dance, the celebration as Taylor Swift and Donna Kelsey participated. So basically, in white America, they are giving Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs credit for coming up with the new dance called swag surf. And which, of course, black people are pissed. And I forgot to even talk about it last week because you've seen so many people. Of course, all the blogs was picking it up and they was calling it whitewater rafting and they was making their little jokes, but people was mad. And of course, everybody and listen to them say, please don't jinx my team, dog. Don't jinx my man. Let them rock and roll. Y'all, we need the Ravens to take them down. We tired of seeing Taylor Swift. Like, don't put all that extra sauce and pressure on. Like, I don't even want to talk about football until I understand now how Marcus coming here and really just don't want to talk. I don't want to even talk about football or the Ravens or nothing after they win the Super Bowl. Then I want to talk. I'm cool on talking about football until the Super Bowl is actually over, because it's just like I don't want to talk too much because I just want to let my man do what he's supposed to do and ball out. And I don't like the way how people they was going so crazy on Josh Allen this week. It was ridiculous. Like, why should they though? Because his wide receivers dropped endless passes.
But you also got to.
No, he put that shit on the money for like 2 of them.
I hear that, but you can't get past Patrick Mahomes. It's 3 years in a row he didn't put you out in the playoffs.
But is it his fault if they drop the ball? He put it there. Like if Stephon Diggs would have made that catch, the game over.
I hear it, right? But Stephon Diggs, the same person been pounding all this goddamn season.
And that's my point. Even when I made a video, I said, dog, him and his brother need to apologize to Josh Allen. You can't sit here and keep pouting it. He put the ball in your hands.
I'm still going to put it on Josh Allen because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be the leader.
Yo, what else you want me to do? He almost ran for 100 yards. I had a bet. I mean, the crazy thing, Patrick Mahomes.
You should have ran for more.
That's a rough.
Your team been good for some years now.
Yeah, you just can't get over the hump. Patrick Mahomes is.
And don't feel bad because shit, Jim Kelly did the same thing. At least he went to the Super Bowl 4 times. Yeah, you can put out 3 times in a row.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, dog. Like that, literally, like that same drive. Stephon Diggs dropped one. What was the other dude on their team that dropped one? I can't remember his name. But he threw 2 bombs and they both dropped. Like, damn. Yeah, that's a rough one. I ain't gonna hold you. Shout out to Josh Allen. That he gonna have him a rough. You gonna have at least a rough week until the next game. You gonna have a rough one. If hopefully,
Tony said it is Kelsey.
Oh, that's who number 1 is. Yeah, I'm about to say. Yeah. I knew I seen her name on the list, but I just couldn't remember what it was. Who was it? Yeah, so shout out to Kelsey Plum. Is she? I can't even, she said she black, but damn, she looks so goddamn white.
What is it?
Her husband is black.
She got two rings.
Yeah.
But she just got it.
No, she was there the first time.
Okay,
she was there. I did see even a video today where people were saying that Caitlin Clark may not even go to the WNBA. Like she may just stay one more year because she got one more year eligibility. That bread's so crazy for her.
Yeah. I mean, especially compared
to the WNBA. So it's like, what's the rush? And but if I'm the WNBA, like you gotta figure that out, dog. You got to though.
But you can't. You don't have the same endorsements. You don't have the back money. Those colleges have the endorsement.
So okay, so then just a hypothetically, if you was a team and if you had the number 1 draft pick, would you try to offer her some stake into something to get her to?
No, I mean you can't.
Because you see that she can sell tickets.
But you got to look at Sabrina. So what's the girl in New York? Sabrina.
Nah, she ain't at the level of Caitlin Clark. Though.
She was when she was in college. She was.
But this one we gotta go back to numbers. We talking about actual facts, numbers. We talking about record breaking numbers. You know, they usually say she not coming here for a whole nother month. And the tickets already. It don't matter. The tickets already sold out, and they've been sold out. That other girl ain't do that. No, dog. Come on, we can't. You can't.
No, I don't.
I get what you're saying. She don't get it twisted, but you can't put that as exaggeration.
But that's what I'm saying. But that just goes with the popularity or whatever the case may be now. More people are kind of tuning into it. So, but my thing is, even when you say I'm gonna offer you stake, how much is stake in the WNBA? I mean, how was the same person that was saying, "Oh, I was trying to buy the Atlanta team for $10 million." So that's not. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't. I don't think that would even convince me to go like to the WNBA, because what really ownership or anything you really have owned for the WNBA?
If you could offer me a stake in some ticket sales, I don't even necessarily know if I need stake in the team. If you talking about sitting here,
because have you watched the WNBA game?
No, you're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying that I feel like that she is capable. If she get drafted to a team, at least for that first year that she get drafted, dog, she can sell some tickets. People are going to pay to see her.
Teams who got the number 1 pick,
what do that matter? No, who was watching Iowa games before her?
But right, so I think Indiana right now got the number 1 pick.
Okay.
And don't they have what's name there too, right? The shorty from South Carolina last year.
Yeah, but she's a center. They don't play the.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But I don't think it's Indiana. I don't think nobody.
No disrespect to Aaliyah Boston. She ain't Caitlin Clark though.
I hear that, but I'm just saying, WNBA wise, I don't see people going to the game just because she did. I mean, college is different. Like I told you, that college atmosphere is different. Like you say, the Maryland Turbans when they about to play there, it's gonna be sold out. But the Wizards can't even do that.
I'm just being honest. I don't think nobody on the Wizards is as big as Caitlin Clark, dog.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if she goes to the WNBA, I still don't think the college has that audience. I don't think the WNBA has that audience. Nobody cares about the WNBA.
I mean, we'll see. Even if she stay a year, we got another year. We're gonna see.
Just like remember we saw the stadium, how that shit was packed out. The WNBA wish they could have that.
But they don't got her. It's her, dog. I listen. I don't
think it's going to transpire. I think the WNBA is that bad.
I hear what you're saying. To me, I would agree with you if she played at a bigger program already. Like she played at Duke, or she played it like for women, or she played at UConn, or she played at South Carolina, and you were saying that you don't know if it would transfer over. I may agree with you. Even for LSU now, like dog, even their games are selling out. They may not be to the capacity of where hers is right now, because of course we have already had that conversation on how the white people will come out and celebrate theirs a little bit more than we're gonna celebrate our own. And again, that tied back into when we was talking about Rap-ish. That is a problem in our community. Like we be thinking we too cool. That's why I make it my business. Even when that game, like of course, it's a little bit of celebration that all y'all will talk about Angel Reese when she lost last week. Well, let's highlight Shorty losing this week. But still, my whole point of it is you'd be surprised how many.
Are they still number 1?
Who? After they lost? Hell no, they can't be, because that other team, it was ranked. They would think it was ranked 11, so there's no way you can still be number one after losing. That's crazy how that drop off.
Was number 7.
Shit, they not 7 no more.
They only lost 1,
and they not 7 no more.
No, I know. After they lost that game, they dropped down. But I'm pretty sure they probably still got them ranked.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I don't necessarily know, but I do think just again, just to tie back into our Rap-ish conversation, that we can get into something else. I do believe that, though, as Black people, just if you like something, don't share it. Like, stop. Like, don't take it to the grave. Like, you don't want people to know what you enjoy, because it's just like, again, we talking about we can't get mad at the blogs because we don't celebrate nothing. So how can I be mad if they don't celebrate nothing? Like, you don't sit here and make it a big deal. How can I honestly get mad at that they don't sit here and celebrate nothing else? And while we speaking on that, in that same vein, I do want to sit here and play this clip from I ain't gonna play the whole thing out, but basically they got donations up to $100 million, which was the highest in HBCU history. So shout out to Spellman. And again, like I said, dog, we just as people, like I said, one thing that is free is just to shit what you enjoy. Again, like I said, that's one of my biggest beefs. Even when it comes to Angel Reese and Wealth, I just pay attention to how many just be like that. I go walk.
But since we still on Black Girl, you play that clip about the 60-year-old teacher.
Give me we can do it. So let me pause. Yeah, we can do it after that. That was on Spiritual World, wasn't it? It just hit something. Anytime I tell people I'm 60. Mm-hmm. The crazy thing is, I I guess because she presents herself to look so old, I do kind of feel like it's kind of almost disrespectful. Because you know how some people, like, they be old and they look super young. People are like, oh, you look so young for your age. But she kind of do look old to be 16. Like, she don't look like she's 16. Like, she literally look like maybe like
20.
Yeah, like 20, 23 maybe. Like but that's because she got, the head wrap on. She do look older. Like, for her to even keep making a whole video about being 16, even just her voice, it sound older. Like, she definitely look older, and not older like on some like sexual, oh damn, she look like, no, look older just like in the face and her just demeanor. She just looks older and she presents as a older woman. So I get how somebody probably will continuously give a pushback, but a round of applause again for her. Just that's a hell of a
I'll play it. I think when it's in because she talked about it.
Something else after?
Yeah.
Bro, that is so nuts. Like, dog.
Hey, y'all believe Cat Williams?
Well, people didn't believe Cat Williams, but I bet you believe her though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What do you say, 3,000 books or something like that? He said.
Yeah. That.
So just imagine what the hell she been reading.
That's nuts though. Like, that's just like, yeah. Shout out to her though.
Shout out to her parents, everybody, her support team.
But that was my question. I was about to ask. I wonder, is her parents that smart, or was this just like she just like a gift from God?
I'm sure.
What you saying? You think her parents was that smart?
Yeah. And how would you get put in that position? You kept pushing.
I don't know if you push somebody to get like that's.
Yeah. Ask how many African friends you got. I'm pretty sure their parents.
No, I know. I get it. Trust and believe. And shout out to Abu. His father used to, and rest in peace to his dad. His dad used to not rock for his dad or his mother wasn't rocking for that. Oh, you want to go to the band? If their boy ain't have all A's, and they wasn't rocking. But I still don't necessarily know.
Because I'm pretty sure that's where you draw it. That's where the discipline comes in.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no, I get the discipline and on the structure of how you can get there. But what I'm saying is that because a lot of, let's be clear. I think if we being honest, you can sit here and think about shit. Let's just use it like in the African household, or even I can use for Abu because I just know this is somebody I personally know. His dad drove cabs, so his dad wasn't like a doctor or a lawyer, but his dad, you know what I'm saying, he drove a lot so he can pay for, hey, my kid can go to a good school, we can live in a, you know what I'm saying? Like that is, so I don't, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's necessarily. But that don't
necessarily mean that they're not smart or, you know what I'm saying? Or,
you missing what I'm saying is because I may not necessarily be as smart as you, but I just know the structure to get you to how you can be smarter than me. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I know for a fact if I can pay to put you into these better schools, or I can put you in a better neighborhood so you can go to better schools, I don't have to be as smart. All I have to do is understand. This is the same way when we talk about kids when they come to athletes. Their parent don't have to be the greatest athlete too, but their parents could know the structure of you need to do these many drills, you need to do this, that, and the third to get to that place. So I'm just sitting here saying, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be, your parent don't have to be the smartest parents, but if they know the books to buy you or the schools to put you in or get the tutors for you to go here, this, that, and the third, to kind of keep pushing you ahead. I do think realistically, I mean, her saying those accomplishments is cool, but I wouldn't mind hearing from her parents, like, how did you get them there? Like, what did you see in her at such a young age to even know to push her in that direction? You get what I'm saying? Like, I be feeling like that sometimes is the conversation that kind of like people need to hear that, because let's say if you see that and you kind of get motivated, like, damn, I wish my kid was that smart. We don't know the direction to push a kid to go there.
And sometimes, I mean, it comes with, I think it's just you understanding your kids and their abilities. And I mean, when you look at it, certain situations, like a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, she's reading or she's doing such and such at
a certain level. So that's my point. So that's my whole thing. So even when people had those conversations, like somebody be like, oh, well, my 4-year-old is reading at a 6th grade level. The parent didn't teach that. That's something that was just a God-given ability.
And not necessarily teach it, but I put that book in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I might have not teach you word for word or how to, you know what I'm saying, but I put that book
in
in your hand.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I was reading to you was in my stomach. You know what I'm saying? It's still the same process.
For sure. Because I do think a lot of parents don't necessarily know how to execute every dream that their kids may have. Because you'll meet a lot of parents who right now their kids may be really into gaming, but because your day-to-day is so busy, you don't even know how to help assist your kid to even set up the console. That's something I probably need to shout out to the league. That's something I need to ask him just so I can even with women that I meet who kids are into gaming. Like, how do you even set up the streaming situation? Like, how you get that little I guess the console that you got to buy or whatever case may be so they can stream, or how do you even set it up to with the or the TV? But I'm still blind. I don't know how to I couldn't put a game on the screen right now. I don't know how to do that. Like, that's something.
HDMI on opposite side.
Oh, well, see, I didn't know that. You teaching me something new. But but listen to what I'm saying. You may know because you are more electronic savvy than I am. But I'm listening to what I'm saying. Though, it's a lot of I know a bunch of girls who kids be into it, but they just be stuck right there. Like, oh, my kid just yelling into his goddamn headset all day, but they don't know how to at least try to give him the opportunity to take it somewhere else, because all they need is, okay, well, here, let's, like, whatever you said, if you get to whatever chord, you plug it in, they'll start to record yourself, and then we can start figuring out how to edit it and do like that. I get what you're saying, like, if you into it, but I feel like sometimes even for some kids, they might not know that direction. Like, when I watch leak stuff, I don't know how to do what he do, so I'm looking at it like, damn, that's tight how he got the jump set up where you can sit here.
But that's the thing, when we say everybody got the same 24 hours, is how you use it. Because you can easily see how to set it up. Because, like I said, on my YouTube, like, all this stuff coming down, oh, how to set this up, you know what I'm saying, how to put this together, this which type of lighting you should use. It takes you to look at it.
Yeah, take you.
And some people, like I said, well, I ain't wasting my time. If you want to see the result, you got to do it.
You're right. I cannot disagree with you on that one. I guess why we still in that realm of kind of like parenting. Somebody who is, if you are paying attention and you be listening with an open ear, she may be winning you over slowly but surely every time. I don't know who tapped Candace Owens and kind of like pointing her in a different direction. I do feel like slowly but surely she's starting to become one of my favorites. And I spoke on that the last time whenever we played a clip of hers. But I'm going to play this clip of Candace Owens, and she kind of getting in her bag again.
Very much in favor of following Bulture. I've been fascinated by those. The whole apocalypse that we are facing, it's amazing to follow these women through everything. And chief among them right now is Ariana Grande. We covered what she's been up to. She has been proud of being a homewrecker, really throughout her entire career. You've got a boyfriend, you've got a husband. Ariana Grande's going to go after them, and then, don't care you when everything happens and dust settles. She does not care about ruining a relationship. Nothing more disgusting than what she did recently. She's working on Wicked, and there's a movie or play that's coming out. She's playing Linda the Good Witch, and she had this really unfortunate looking guy that was playing a part. I don't even know what it was, as a munchkin hairs, right? But he was married. And he was married to his high school sweetheart. Her name is DJ, and they had just had their first decade. But that, of course, didn't stop Ariana Grande. Why didn't it stop Ariana Grande? Because it actually excites her. I actually think that she suffers from some random mental disorder where she actually likes it when a man is sleeping. She's like, I like that. I want to just, I need that. Like, she's turned on by me in a weird way. She didn't care if it was ugly, nothing. She just said, I want to bring up this family. And really, Jay actually, via her friends, announced that Ariana Grande actually helped her baby. Somebody to think about the level of love you can be at to hold somebody's brand new baby that came out, and I thought, oh, nice and cute, and now I'm gonna take the father. She did that. She actually did that. And if you thought that was egregious, Ariana Grande taking Ethan Slater from his high school sweetheart and taking the father, and by the way, not even about like the sexual abuse man, we discussed it in the what we're discussing. The fact that she now has come out with a song that basically celebrates her home-wrecking abilities. She's just like, and I don't care. Yeah, the song is entitled Yes, and French pop you guys call it. She means, yes, I took your husband. I took the father of your children. And so what? I'm just spoken to Ryuji. Listen to her thought lyrics. Don't comment on my body. Do not reply. Your business is yours and mine is mine. Why do you care so much?
Shout out to Candace Owen. I ain't gonna lie, I can't listen to too much more about it, but I do just I'm just I don't even know why I'm a fan of that one, but I do like that she kind of figuring out a different way to kind of gain a different audience that I felt like she may have lost at one point in time because people are super sensitive when it comes to talking about politics. And because she was on the other side and she was kind of supporting the side that most black people don't support, I do like the way she kind of figuring out like, yeah, she know how to turn it over. She know how to figure out how to kind of, I guess, get a different way to get people back. I guess why we talking about other stuff that people probably really don't care about. Saucy Santana got dropped from RCA, and of course Academiks and a few other people made a big deal about it, which I think realistically for Saucy Santana may be the best thing because I forgot he even had a deal. Only reason I probably even remember because I want to say he went up to the Breakfast Club and they spoke about it when he first got signed. But no, to me, signing a deal in 2024, and if you don't have hit records and the label is pushing you to get played on the radio, again, it's kind of like, what's the point? You can kind of, especially when you already have an audience on social media, it's like, dog, just work the audience you got. Because I don't necessarily feel like if you're not getting songs pushed on the radio, what does the label actually do for you?
He got an audience.
Saucy Santana, you got a couple million followers on
No,
Instagram.
but I'm saying like a he have like a cult. I mean, like
a cult like following? No. But does he have an audience? Yes.
So who is his audience? Is it
to me? It probably realistically, the crazy thing is probably more women than it is actually like the gay community. I don't necessarily know if everybody's kind of turned on by him because I don't know the politics on that. Because I know realistically, I'm not going to do no deep dive, but him and whatever that dude going back and forth the way and all the long hair.
That's why I was just asking, like, do we really have an audience like that, or it's just like, all right, you the trending right now, but it really you have a supporting audience like that?
I do.
Because I think that might be like probably one of the hardest lanes to be in right there. I'm gonna say yes and no. I think it depends on how they feel like you represent for them, because that's Nicki audience, but they feel like Nicki represent them the right way. But that's the thing about Nicki. Nicki is not gay. You as a gay man rapping, I don't think, you know what I'm saying, like you're supporting. I don't think your supporting fans would be like, oh, you know what I'm saying. And I think it would be more because like even with his lyrics, I think it's more for the females and stuff like that. Like Nicki
so let me put it like this. It probably just depends on if you are a flamboyant gay man like he is. So yeah, if you are more flamboyant like him, so the Material Girl or walk that, like you, of course, like everybody. I mean, you seen during the shutdown, everybody and their mother was doing the walk away videos to walk whatever how his walk song went. Everybody and their mother was doing it. So I do think he realistically he got an audience, because even when he put out his project, he had like songs with Light Skin Keisha or Lotto, and that's before I was even a Lotto fan. I actually was listening to his music, and that was like one of the first times that I was like, damn. And I do just a sidebar. I give Lotto some credit, because even if I'm thinking about those two songs at that time, I want to say the Lotto song was a bigger song, but I do feel like at that point in time, Light Skin Keisha was the better rapper. So it's just so crazy how like time can kind of like, if you continuously kind of work on your craft and kind of find your pocket and just keep grinding it out, you can outlast whoever started with you. Because I'm literally just, when I'm thinking about that right now, I'm like, damn, the first two songs I ever heard from Santana was a song with him and Lotto, and then it was a song with him and Light Skin Keisha. At that time, Light Skin Keisha was the better rapper, and then it was just like she kind of have went to the wayside now, and then Lotto continuously rise up. So I do feel like it just depends on the music. I do think Saucy Santana make great music, and again, when we talk about like with Soulja Boy, could some of his songs be bigger if he gave them to a woman? Absolutely. I said this before a million times on here. When I was at one point in time, like, damn, it's so easy for everybody to get on Instagram Live with him. When we talking about him and Young Miami, probably a year or so ago now, do the songs with them, or even be just a ghostwriter and sell them songs. Like, no, I'm so what you saying. I do agree with you. I do think it is probably harder to actually get. And maybe the community may support him, but to get people outside to take him serious, it may be a lot harder than if he gave Material Girl to Cardi, or gave it to Nicki, or gave it to Young Miami, or somebody. That song probably would have been bigger. Don't get it twisted. That is one of his biggest songs. But that song probably, if there was a woman on that song, it may have even been bigger. Even if he still did the hook, but they had two verses on it. Because I think he brings a different type of swag to that hook, where he may still needed to do the hook because he give it like that. He give it that saucy sound to it. but still, if he had 2 girls on a verse, I think that song would have been bigger. Or even like Walk, if he would have did the remix and would have had some girls on it. Like I do think realistically, you're right. I think it's a catch-22 to it. I do think it is. It's a free range to it, but I do think it just kind of like men have to be a little bit comfortable with supporting too, because it's just look at like we talking about with P Valley. Like,
So okay, I got one for you. So in his support, he don't have support like Lil Nas X.
I think
Because even though
so okay. So I'm glad you brought up Lil Nas. Go ahead, finish what you're gonna say, but I'm glad you brought up Lil Nas.
Because I feel like even with Lil Nas X, I don't think he has the support from the community, but I think just his acts and you know the stuff he do brings more fan and attention to him.
Mm-hmm. So okay, I think two things can be true. I think it brings more attention, but I don't think he got more fans. So if you ask me who do I think have more fans, like an actual loyal fan base, I think Saucy Santana has an actual loyal fan base. I feel like people who are fans of Saucy Santana, they actually just like engage on his page or engage with whatever content he put out. A lot. Like if he would have did, like people want to see him on a TV show. Like you see people in the comment section always saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see him and Chrisean on a reality show together." Or even when she was starting her podcast, like people, he was one. I told y'all that to me the best episode when it was him and Young Miami. I mean him and JT, and he was doing the majority of talking because you can see their chemistry was way easier. It was easier for Chrisean to kind of talk freely with him because this is somebody she probably talked to on a regular already. So if his lane, I do think like if he had a podcast and it was him and Chrisean, I think it'll be way more successful than his music career. Absolutely. And I do think sometimes people have to understand like you, but he do still have an audience. I still think sometimes people may not run to your music, but that don't necessarily mean you don't have an audience. In the perfect example, and then we can tie that into, of course, Akademiks and Young Miami was having a back and forth over social media again, and Akademiks was calling her unsuccessful. So, of course, what black people do, you call them unsuccessful, and they got some stats to show. They're gonna show it. So, Young Miami did pull up her stats. She made like $1 million, and I want to say, I can't remember the time. It was a small time frame though. Like the time frame wasn't crazy. It was like maybe a day or like 3. It was no longer than 3 days. Whatever it was, she made like $1 million in like 3 days off of her Carisha Please cards, the Risha Roulette or whatever I think that's what it's called. Yeah, she made off of those cards, just off the cards. Like she showed her gross sales just off of those cards. Yeah, so but
like what, $30?
Exactly.
Like
so that lets you know how many people bought them. But that's my point of that may not realistically music wise. When you talking about that's the crazy thing. Think about when we talking about their music for their first week sales and people was laughing them out. Okay, cool. That may not transition to the music sales, but people still obviously still like her enough to sit here. So they still spent the money. To me, that's more impressive that you got that many people to buy a $30 car. Did you make a $1.5 million off of it? Then you sitting here saying.
So then maybe the question is, I think it's your brand. How good is your brand? Because if I got a brand, I still can get the support.
For sure.
So and I believe so. His brand and his what name is not that loud or
no. I think his brand is still just as big. Maybe of course not as big as hers because of course the cheat code is people like to just look at her. Like that's one. Of course for women, that's always going to be the cheat code. Like she can post a picture that can keep her in conversation anytime where. He may have to put out more content or more material for people to kind of really, fall into. But I do think he has a solid fan base. I do believe that if he had, like I said, if he had a podcast or if he had some merchandise or something that he wanted to sell, his lashes or some nails or something, I'm sure people would go out and support it. But I just don't think the music sometimes it just get tricky because people are fickle when it comes to just the music situation. I don't necessarily know how the business is with that, but I don't think necessarily he needs a record label. I don't think he need to be signed to a label because I don't think right now labels really know how to push every artist. And so, I mean, like I said, shout outs to him, shout outs to Young Miami, but then of course with that whole little situation with Akademiks and Young Miami was kind of corny. It always is corny, so it was just like, what else do you expect? Let me put this. Fredo Bang is crazy.
She did, but I didn't like. She did a post talking about she had Pink Hat talking about like my future. I tell you what, she post put a motherfucker amount on the fans so I can pay and see that motherfucker. So I ain't seen that motherfucker yet. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
So for people who don't know who that was Fredo Bang. He was on Bootleg Cav podcast, and he was going down the list of female celebrities or basically female rappers that he subscribed to their OnlyFans page, and he was basically complaining about how Ruby Rose finessing niggas out their bread because she ain't on there showing nothing for real. She really just giving you bra and panties, or maybe just give you a panty picture from behind. And of course, she ain't got no boobs, so it's not nothing too crazy. So it really don't matter. She can kind of realistically go braless, and it really ain't gonna be like, oh my god, Ruby Rose ain't got no shirt on because she really ain't got no titties for real. So it really don't matter. But shout out to Ruby Rose. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Between her and Ice Spice.
So my question: can you really be mad?
No, because I don't. You know what the crazy thing to me is? If this is just for somebody who been just shopping around or looking at OnlyFans prices, the cheaper the price is, the better the freakier the girl gonna be. Like if you see a joint for $5, buy it. But you see something for $25, $35, don't buy it because though they finesse me. I promise you they are. Anything, and I told you we learned that I learned that the hard way when me and J-Bo bet last year with the Eagles and the Cowboys, and he bought a joint for me and it was $20-something, and then the dollar literally just nothing but like an Instagram page on OnlyFans.
Can't be mad.
It's a finesse. So but guess what?
But is it a finesse if you subscribe? I got subscribers to it. It's not really a finesse then.
It is because that don't mean you got me once, but that don't mean you gonna get me every month.
But if people keep subscribing to it or keep trying to, because I think even what's name was talking about it. Joe and them was talking about how Cardi B. I think she was on there,
and she was just on there talking, yeah. And she was just, but listen to what I'm saying though. So that's my point. So of course, the more popular you are, people want to subscribe because you get more popular. Ruby Rose is probably hands down one of the most beautiful women on social media, and she go viral every time she posts that picture. So of course, it's gonna be horny because guess what? Sometimes I may be broke, so I may not have the 20 this month when she posted, whatever the case may be. But then, okay, one day, damn, I got a couple extra dollars. I've been geeking to see Ruby Rose OnlyFans. Let me sit here and pay it. You absolutely, she still will get people, but that don't mean that I'm gonna keep letting it subscribe. I thought it went on there one time and I done seen it. Oh, this shit ain't handle nothing. She just literally just teasing me. I'm gonna hit the unsubscribe. You got me once, but you're not gonna get me all the time. And that's why you sit here and see even when
so it's that easy to unsubscribe and all that.
Yeah, you could just you literally just hit unsubscribe. Like every time, it's literally just like how social, like Instagram or unfollow. You can literally just hit unfollow and then it's over.
So since we're talking about OnlyFans, if you are Snoop Dogg, are you taking that deal?
Man, hell yeah, I'm taking that deal. I don't even believe him.
No. But you also got to think if we said who
pay the bills?
No. I hear the bills, but I think it also he's looking at it in hindsight. Like if I'm worldwide famous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I have my stuff online. Them bills gonna stop.
Maybe you might be right.
Gonna stop.
You might be right. You ain't the reason why
Corona, all that, them deals gonna stop.
No, you know the crazy thing is, and why I don't disagree with what you're saying is because it's so crazy. Like you can't even type out the word OnlyFans on no social media page. You got to like even when you make these posts, like even when I'm just talking about that, they blank it out. Like I'm like, dog, why do they have to blank that word out? Like they blanking it out like it's a cuss word. It's a website. They literally treat it like it. And the crazy thing is, everybody not on it even doing the porn stuff or the nudity stuff.
Oh, but I don't know if you noticed, but I think they put the lockdown on that with the whole with the porn websites and stuff like that. Now you gotta like show ID.
Oh, I ain't seen it.
Yeah.
Not with the jump that I go on, it's like the bootleg jump anyway. So it ain't.
No, they started to lock down on a lot of that stuff, man.
Yeah, well. I mean, if it came down to it, if it was that deep, I'd put my ID on it. If it was that serious with it, it ain't that deep though. But if it came down to it, all else failed, shit, I would like shit. Would you? I'd rather put my ID in and sit here and say I got to go back into the dating pool right now. Yeah, shout out to Snoop. There's no way. I'm sorry if I'm paying all the bills in my house. I agree with what you saying, and I would turn it down for that purpose. But just because my wife don't want me to post it, yeah, right. You take some of these bills in, and let me know if you still want me to sit here and say no to this OnlyFans. And shout out to condolences and prayers to Snoop Dogg's daughter. I believe I can't. When I see some of those stories, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can because I don't have the stomach for them, and especially when it's like health conditions. But I think she got like some form of like cancer or something. I can't remember. Like I said, I don't read it, and I try to like. That's one thing I can be honest about. I don't really be having a stomach for some of that stuff, so I try to literally just scroll past it or keep it moving. But I do want to send thoughts and prayers to her because she is like that. I was like a clip, and she was just like, oh man, the way she was talking about it, like that shit almost made me. I was like, yeah, this is why I don't listen to this type of stuff. So yes, still love and prayers and thoughts to his daughter and his family for her fighting her health condition that she got going on right now. And something
like that pops up. oh, he got the own. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's why I say I think I understand why he made that decision.
No, for sure. And bro, just why even while we just saying thoughts and prayers and shout outs to Michael Strahan and his daughter. I think she was. Yeah, it's some. Both of them it's two different forms of it though. I don't necessarily know what both of them was because both of them literally like when I hear those stories, I kind of like try my hardest to like I see them, but I try to just scroll. Like, I don't really try to get into the details of them because I ain't gonna lie, my stomach kind of weak on those situations because I do know those things are so hard to prevent. Like you can't really be like I could be on here work out and pray like, but some of these things like you can't. You ain't no work out for none of them situations. Let that load up. We come in with power. What else? Let's see a couple of clips.
Shit, you saying that shit about crazy? Because I said, what's that? What's that? The other day, I was playing basketball. You remember John? He used to hang. He got skinny, played for Largo.
Tall?
Yeah.
His dad used to come to the games?
Yeah. We was playing out at Annapolis. And he just went up and he turned around, started grabbing his chest.
For real?
We had to go to ambulance.
Damn.
And he's talking about only 39. Like,
you know.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. His dad was tall too though, and dad like had a stomach. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because he was asking about you.
Because I didn't notice him when he first came in the gym. He was like, Marcus. And I was like, damn, he looks good. Then when he took his hoodie off, and I was like, oh shit, what's up? And then that's when he's like, yeah, we know how you broke and all that.
Bang. What's the transition? What's Ice Spice?
The dude trying to sue her for
For the song, yeah. All right, yeah, I'm glad you remember. I don't got it, but we can talk about it still. You ready? All right, real quick, before we get into Power, I do want to play this clip real quick of ATL Jacob. He was on the Baller Alert show, and basically he was trying to say that Tim's didn't want to originally, and of course they did eventually have a back and forth after this episode did air because it started to pick up steam on social media. I just want to play a clip because I know we're on YouTube, so I don't want them to kind of go crazy with this music playing behind it. So of course she said basically that for people who don't know that on that song was a sample of her voice from a song that she had. I can't remember the song that she had, but it was of course the song that she had originally wasn't as popular, of course, as the Drake and Future jump. But he basically was saying that she wasn't cleared until Drake reached out to her. This Drake wasn't on the song, and she was basically saying, I didn't even know Drake was going to be on the song, but that wasn't what he was saying. He was basically saying that he had to get Drake to reach out for her to get the jump clear. So Future basically, I guess he was basically saying that Future reached out to Drake for him and was like, hey, can you reach out to Tim's and get her to, clear this record for me, whatever the case may be, because Drake and Tim's already had a relationship, whatever the case may be. And then they did realistically, I'm sure she happy that she did clear because that was her first Grammy. They won a Grammy for that song. She won BET Awards because of that song. I mean, she did win BET Awards too because of Essence as well. But that's a Grammy. They won a Grammy off that song. And they did have their back and forth on social media where she basically called him a liar and said, like, dog, you lying. Nobody didn't have to press me to clear nothing, whatever case may be. And we heard it. We cleared it. And he was just like, maybe that's how you hear, like how you remember the story. All I'm just saying, I'm not trying to lie on you. I ain't trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to say how I felt and how the story was told to me, or how I had to go through the situation to get it cleared. And basically was just like, they had it a little back and forth, and he basically was still trying to, not even cop a plea, but he was trying to not make her upset or try to feel like he trying to disrespect her. And he kept saying it, like every time he was tweeting, he was like, I'm trying to, I ain't trying to disrespect you or trying to put smut on your name or the case may be. I'm just telling the story of what happened. And of course, even in that story, he told a story about how he got 2 girls pregnant at the same time because one of the girls was like, I was like, dog, you a young nigga, you out here lunching. As soon as you get a couple dollars, you adopt the whole little Future motto because you get the dropping kids off in the bras. Like he was saying how one of them, he wasn't talking to her and then he didn't show up for the other one, baby. I'm like, bro, you got all over the place. Hey, you got like too popping right now to even be telling this story. I don't know if I would have told that story because one of your baby mothers get mad, boy, they gonna try to run that child support bag up off you something crazy because you definitely got some hits up under your belt right now, and especially the Jones. He produced the jump for Nicki after club up jump. But yeah, like I said, shout out to ATL Jacob and that Tim's jump. That's probably she low key been putting out music, but of course none of them have been as big as some of her other songs. And I know that's like I respect her to keep putting out music, but I do know for a lot of artists, you always gonna kind of be like, damn, you trying to chase that ghost now. Because you got 2.
No, I don't think you would be chasing the ghost. I mean, you got that one up there.
You got 2 up there. You got
Right,
Essence
so
and you got this John L.
I'm fine with that. I don't think I'm chasing the ghost.
Okay, but go back to the conversation we was having a few minutes ago when we was talking about the Fabio situation. We talking about actually securing that bag to the point where for a fact I never got to go back to the hood. You kind of got to chase that ghost.
But I'm set up right now with those songs. They still getting played.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. All right, you're realistic. Okay, how long they gonna get played? They ain't getting played as much as they used to.
She been an R&B singer. What else? I ain't got no clue with me. I ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's.
But you still got bills. You still gonna live somewhere differently.
I hear that part.
You still gonna want to drive something different.
But I feel like even with her music, it's not bad music. She's still putting out music.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not saying her music is bad, but you still in the music business, you still realistically. You just as good as your last hit if we talking about price wise. Because I talked about this before on here when we talked about Plies. When Plies went from the first time he came to DC, I want to say Plies he got like 10 bands. Shout out to Tank. He did that when Tank first came home from jail. He did a joint with Plies in Backyard. He got Plies for 10 bands with Backyard. Then the next time he came, I want to say he gave Plies like 40. But then he'll say he brought Plies here a couple times. So let's say if he bought Plies here 4 times. The first time was 10,000. The next 3 times was 40,000. But then when Plies started to get maybe like he had like one more other big song, he went to 80,000. And then when the time Plies got to 80, Plies got cold. So if you want 80,000, you got to be able to bring out more people. That's what even for somebody like Lil Durk won anywhere between 250,000 to 500,000. He got to keep chasing hits now.
Lo said that their little baby.
Yeah, give me 1 second, and we can talk about that before we get into power. Yeah, but so that is I guess realistically that is the chase. So that's the chase for people is like I'm constantly chasing the number.
But I think it's different when you're talking about R&B wise and rap, because I feel like the lifestyle or even just the way I'm moving around is more calm, and it's not like I have to keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you got, because like look at LMA, that song put her at the place where, all right, I'm good.
Oh, okay, so I hear what you're saying. You good if you know how to shoot. You are good if you know how to save your money. You good if you're not sitting here looking like, okay, and of course they are women and they are R&B singers, so they're not trying to live up to the super lavish life. And if you see LMA, she super low key, like she ain't all designed up or nothing. Like that's cool. So you don't have to chase no more hits.
And I'm still get my little songs here and there on the soundtracks and still getting booked for that.
Cool, but then the thing will be is you'll come up to the situation where you could either be Ari Lennox or you could be SZA. SZA can do arenas. I'm sure realistically for most artists, and don't get me wrong, it's some artists who cool with just doing like they call it, what's it like, you know, it's a white circuit, what they call it, like bluegrass, where they cool with just doing shows that's just big as the anthem. They don't want to go nowhere bigger than, and they're cool with a 5,000 venue situation. They don't need nothing more than that, which is cool. Some people are happy with that, but then there's still some people who get that bug where it's like, I want to be, and I seen even on the Breakfast Club they was talking about that today. They was asking like, do SZA get the credit that she deserved? Because for that album to last for a whole year, the song stayed on the charts for a whole year. But do people put her in that conversation now where you talking about like big dog status? Like she started being in the conversation with the Marys and the Beyoncés and the Rihannas now because she ain't in the conversations with the Aries and the Summer Walkers because they in the Fillmore conversation. So that's my point.
But then that's why I say I don't think you can judge off of just capacity of what you can sit here and sell out shows. Because if my music is still adds out onto it, I don't think it's with the packed out crowd because that's not their thing. A packed out crowd. It's only a couple of them that doing packed out field. You know what I'm saying? Like stadium arenas and all that. Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only a select few. It's not all of them. Long as you still making your money on a consistent basis and you not got to be on Love and Hip Hop, you know, begging for a check, I don't see no problem with that. I mean,
I can't disagree with you. I guess that one will realistically the only person who can ever answer those questions would be the artist itself. So it was a list that came out to speak on what Lo said. It was a list that came out on the top 10. Is on the top 10 rappers who have fell off and it went viral. And real quick, and the two things to go with this, then it was a tweet from Lil Duval where he said, damn, when did everybody start hating on Lil Baby? So what's the Le'Veon Bell responded. He was just basically like when Lil Baby basically made the fans in the audience choose between Gunna and himself. So I'm gonna read this list and then I'm gonna discuss the argument that me and Lo had. So number 1 was Bobby Shmurda. Number 2 was Quando Rondo. Number 3 was Lil Baby. Number 4 was NBA YoungBoy. Real quick, before I finish reading the list, which make this whole list ridiculous. And of course, I think sometimes with lists, to get people to actually talk about it, you gotta put you trolling when you put number 3 and number 4 is Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy because NBA YoungBoy is been the number top. He's been number 5 for 5 straight years. He's been the number 1 streamed artist on YouTube, rap wise. So you put him on there is like ridiculous.
But my only question is he good as he was, I guess, before all this house arrest type? You know what I'm saying? Like before he.
Now who can judge that? Because one, he never had no songs on radio. He never was no person that put out number 1 albums or nothing. So we only judging him off of YouTube. Then he's still who he is. What else do we got to judge him off of? Because he don't get played on the radio.
So that's what I'm saying. So I mean, beforehand, how was his number on YouTube beforehand?
I never looked at him because I'm just saying I don't even watch. I don't even listen to him on YouTube. I listen to him on Apple Music. So I can't. I'll be lying if I'm trying to tell you. But he's still at the end of the year when YouTube put out there who was the most streamed rapper. It was him. It had been him for the last 5 years.
No, I was just wondering, like, was he at his peak or is he at his peak now? That's why I asked.
So I wouldn't necessarily know because if it's still number 5, I mean, if he's still been if he been number 1 for the last 5 years, it would to me I could respect if you say he fell off and he went from number 1 to now he number 5. Yeah, that's a fall off. But if I've been number 1 for the last 5 years, where do I fall off at? So again, like I said, number 1 was Bobby Shmurda. Number 2 was Quando Rondo. Number 3 was Lil Baby. Number 4 was NBA YoungBoy. Number 5 was Rich Homie Quan. Number 6 was Lil Pump. Number 7 was Designer. Number 8 was Da Baby. And that's even with Da Baby. It's like, bro, he just had a hit over the summertime.
And I think he's finding his other lanes too.
So and then number 9 was Roddy Ricch. Number 10 was Meek Mills.
Lil Pump and all them, how they not hiding?
Little bit. That's my point.
Designer, he not up in.
So this is what I'm saying. So that was my point of why I'm saying is why Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy and even Da Baby shouldn't have been on this list. But I understand because
because of the name.
No, because of the name and because you with those names on it and make the conversation. Imagine if we took them three off and put three rappers who should probably been on there. I don't necessarily know people who going to talk about this list, but because you see Lil Baby on there, you see NBA YoungBoy on there, people, one of their fans is going to be like, "What you talking about? They ain't fall off." You will argue
What's
it.
the last song Lil Baby put out?
To like, I guess what it depends on what you're asking for, and that was the argument that I was having with Low. I'm just like, no, he just did a birthday bash. He just had his birthday bash.
No, I mean, but I'm saying like just this year.
You mean last year?
Last year, what was the last hit song?
That California
last feature.
That California Breeze. That California Breeze was his big song off of that album, and then that's still that
But that was like 2 years ago.
That album, yeah, now it was like 2 years ago. So I mean, but again, of course, then my conversation with Lo was saying, I said, well, name me. Do you feel like it's 10 rappers right now that's bigger than Lil Baby or hotter than Lil Baby? And he was like, no, because it ain't 10 hot. It's not 10 rappers that's hot right now. Then I said, you can't sit here and say somebody fell off if you don't lose their spot.
Okay, not necessarily fall off, but I'm not going to you for the features.
But then going back to the price of
so that means you cooled off. You're not as high.
No, because sometimes your price could just be too high.
Okay, not even your price too high, but I feel like, all right, I can go get a Lotto feature instead of going to Lil Baby. Or I can go get a Cardi B feature right now, which probably, you know what I'm saying? Or I could try to put my money up, get a J. Cole feature right now, because that's the thing that's hot right now. So that's why I'm saying when you say falling off. So right now, at this moment, you're not as hot as you was.
But okay, but this is sit here and say, of course, and if that's the comparison, if you comparing him to himself from 2 years ago, is Lil Baby still as hot as he was 2 years ago? Absolutely not. So if you count that as a fall off, then I'm cool. I can agree with that. But then, like I was telling
some people, like I said, you have your down seasons.
No, for sure. So if that's what you're comparing him to, I can agree to that. But so their low conversation was, well, do you feel like Gunna is hotter than him? I said I never felt in my life, never thought Lil Baby was ever hotter than Gunna. He don't got bigger songs. Like I asked Low, I said, well, tell me what's the Lil Baby song that's bigger than Pushing P? He don't got one. Lil Baby's biggest song to his career is the song with him and Gunna, is Drip 2. Or any of his songs he featured with Drake. Like if I put his name in, let me search his name right now on Apple Music just to push the conversation a little bit. Lil Baby. So his top songs on Apple Music is Freestyle. It is Yes Indeed, that's a Drake feature. Drip Too Hard, which I said, Once in These, which is a Drake feature. An Okay, which is a Gunna, so it's him, Gunna, and Young Thug. We Paid, that's him and 42 Dugg. Pure Cocaine and Close Friends. So it's just like, even still, like, which one of those songs? Ain't none of them songs bigger than Pushing P. Not Freestyle, not Yes Indeed, not Drip Too Hard. Like maybe Drip Too Hard is bigger than Pushing P, but that's him and Gunna together. But Once in These not bigger than Pushing P. We Paid, like, okay, that's a hit for him, but I don't know if that's bigger than Pushing P.
So somewhere in the industry, he has took it to club. Not necessarily, he still has his name.
No, he still got his name, but what me and Lo was arguing about, I'm telling Lo, is he still never was a bigger artist than Gunna. He never made better songs than Gunna. Okay. Even if you see it and say, okay, let's take it off of Pushing P. What's his song that's bigger than Ski? I'm sure y'all remember when everybody was doing the dance, the Ski, like, what song? He don't got a song bigger than that. Or Hot. It was him, Young Thug, and Travis Scott was on the remix. Like, Gunna got a lot of big songs. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, they don't allow that whole little whatever situation he was going on. That can't still disrespect the music and the hits he already put out. So I don't necessarily know. Don't get it twisted. Online, yes, I do feel like a lot of people hate on Lil Baby, but then I still feel like if you go actually outside, no, you can't sit here. And when Lo was trying to sit here and say, "Oh, it's his city," of course he can sell out the arena. I'm like, dog, it's a lot of people who cannot sell out the arenas from his city. Like, it's no a rapper or a singer from the District of Columbia or PG County or Virginia that can sell out the Capital One Arena. I don't care if it's their birthday, it's their funeral, or whatever. They not selling out the Capital One Arena. Sorry, buddy. Hate to tell you that. Only person who may eventually get there to that level, maybe Brent Fires. Maybe Brent and maybe him and Ari probably can do a job together and they may be able to sell it out. But not one of them by themselves. If Brent and Ari did a show like a Valentine's Day special joint, they may be able to sell out the Capital One.
for something like that, especially coming. And you only got them two.
So that's my
Yeah,
point. So that's why you that's what I'm saying. But you got to give somebody like Lil Baby credit if he can still sell out his home arena.
But see, but that's why I say I think when you put people in those kind of elements, or you even use, I think it's unfair because, like I said, when it comes to rap and R&B, I just feel like a large arena and you just singing, you just there standing there singing, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. So I can't just judge, like, oh well, you can't sell this arena. But I feel like I put you in a more close, for R&B, then it's more, all right, that's my thing.
In other news, shout out to Tia Mallory from Sister Sister, kind of struggling on that single. Like, bro, she posted a picture in a one-piece bathing suit and just like, bro, you just look like somebody's mom. Hang it up, G. Yeah, but just like, you seen the picture? Bro, cover them cheeks up. Like, bro, nothing, that didn't get nobody horny. Like, what was the point of that? Like, that was just a weak thirst trap, dog. Like, that was weak. Like, man, tomato. Like, come on, bro. Like, get her out of here. Like, no, I'm cool on that one. That one necessarily didn't do absolutely nothing with them. I guess we haven't talked about no like type of relationship situation. So here we go. Brother Dr. Umar, let's go crazy. Mm.
Wow.
Contracts are different from love. Why? Contracts are conditional. Love is unconditional. If I love my queen, what if she comes home one day? We say, hey, babe, I don't want to be a lawyer. But if I only marry her, because I like the way her mom looks on Dr. Umar in public, you see how this goes? She's changing. But if I love her, okay, babe, she doesn't want to go on something else. Let's do it. Love is unconditional. You love somebody, you are 100% unapologetic and unconditional, committed to that person's best interest, even if it is to your loss.
And that is Dr. Umar, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever get my man twisted. He be out here smoking pack crazy, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what it. I don't think so. I think, or if he is, I want to say, because I do that. I watched I listened to that whole interview yesterday when I was in the gym, and he kept saying that he needed to be with two women. So I don't necessarily, if he is married, he definitely be heavy on the two women situation. So I don't necessarily know. I don't even got no real talk for it, but I just feel like we kind of been all over the place. And I should have yeah, he definitely was preaching. I should have honestly came in the better transition would have been, it's a producer who's suing Turbo for using, it's a local rapper who is suing Turbo for his hit tag Run That Back Turbo, and basically saying that tag has been used in 80 plus hit songs. And I already know how that necessarily probably went. Realistically, he was a local rapper. He was trying to get some free beats or some studio time where him and Turbo was making music together before he got popping, and he laid that jump down for him. And then Turbo ended up using it because he liked it, and then Turbo ended up blowing up because of Gunna. And then now, dude, like, damn, I can't get no studio, I can't even get a beat from you no more, and you running around with my tag, like, pay me or something. Because I'm sure 100% positive. Pay me for my voice.
Is it you really using that voice?
Yeah, it's the Run That Back Turbo.
It's actually him on that tag, like how Logic is on Juicy J, like this.
Yeah,
that's Logic.
Yeah.
That's
the dude. It's the local rapper who Run That Back Turbo.
If that's you, then
that's him.
Okay,
that's him.
Okay. I thought you were just saying like you came,
No. He actually is the one. That's his voice. Yeah, he gonna get paid. But I'm sure realistically, that's
just like the chick for the MNG.
Yeah, and they probably Ben got paid, and they just never even thought twice about it. Because 9 times out of 10, you think about it.
Well, hold up. Now my question is, you rather get paid up front or later on?
I'm sure when that dude did it, he probably just was doing it just trying to get some extra studio time with some extra beats. When Turbo the first time he probably used it, the dude probably, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you a local rapper, and Turbo sample your name.
So how much you looking for right now?
Shit, right now I might be trying to get, like, I'm sure you a local rapper. They used it just as local rapper. They didn't even say your name, so you probably really tap. You probably be happy if he just settled with an M or send you 500,000 and some beats. You probably be happy because you ain't got no real bread to probably take him to court for real. Mm-hmm. So if he just say, all right, cool, we'll settle for something. Like I'm sure he could. I'm sure if Turbo wants to right now, no, don't get it twisted. Turbo may be on some nigga time and may not even try to settle and just try to like strong arm him. Mm-hmm. But if to me, I'm gonna go out on a limb as a local rapper. You probably could. He gonna want some bread because he probably not gonna just want the beats no more because somebody probably got in his ear and even told him he could sue you, especially if you already got the 80 songs. Like he's talking about 80 hit like notable songs. He ain't talking about just 80 like the miscellaneous songs that you got going around. He talking about 80. He got talking about 80 songs that people actually know. Shit, you gonna have to at least give me like you probably give me like 500. I wouldn't care. Cool, 500 more than what you got. And if you can get 500 with selling without going to court, and you ain't got to break down with no lawyer now, and you can just take the 500 to the head. Yeah, I'm cool. Give me my 500.
But that's my question: do you still want to keep getting paid, or you just want a flat out fee?
I just would want a flat out fee if it's me, because I just don't with those. Because the crazy thing is, you could piss him off, and he could just change it. Yeah, because like Metro Boomin got endless jumps. Metro Boomin.
That's why I'm just like my only thing is just like when you get something like that, do you really genuinely like? Damn, this is it. I'm gonna use this because like I'm pretty sure like even with that MMG joint, Ross probably took care of him at that time.
Yeah, because he was Ross and there was some bras. But you ain't never know it was gonna be that big. Of course not.
That's their damn tag.
No, of course not. Because even the Young Thug jump. I mean, the Young Thug jump for Metro Boomin, the original jump before he changed it to Young. That was Young Thug, but that was on a song though. Mm-hmm. Oh, and it was the original jump was from. I want to say it was from Young Thug's song. It was it was one of the early Young Thug songs, and it was the original jump. Metro Boomin Want Some More, nigga, and that was from that original song was a Metro Boomin and 808 Mafia collabo song with Young Thug on it. Like they collaborated on the beat, and he said that like somewhere in his verse, Metro Boomin, you want some more. So he took that. So that was Metro's hook tag. Then he did the like you said the Metro. Then he used that as a tag. And then now he used the Future jump. If Young Metro don't trust you, he's gonna shoot you. So that's like you said, he can easily use different jumps. So it's like, I don't want no long-term payment on it because you can switch it out. You already now. You don't even need the tag no more for real.
But I still think that Turbo.
Yeah, until somebody else come up with a better one.
Yeah, now but I feel like that's the hard part right there.
I mean, it is, but it ain't. Look how many jumps I just said Metro Boomin had.
Yeah, I know, but I think Metro. Okay, who else can get that many, and it actually still hit? It don't mess up the song. You know what I'm saying?
It's not too many people who can pull off what Metro.
I feel like everybody has like
they're one standout jump. Metro Boomin may be the only person. You're absolutely right. Metro Boomin may be the only person who has multiple standout ones. Like you can remember all his tags. One that lets you know how much music Metro Boomin make, and then that kind of lets you know how popular he is.
Lil Juke made it.
Yeah. That's his only one. And of course, you want to switch it out because Meg is on it. And Meg is the biggest artist you to work with. So, of course, you're not going to switch her Joan out. And who else got one that people probably don't know? I'm sure people don't know who the person who did London on the Track jump because most people think it's Young Thug and it's not. It's Schoolie from the rich kids. And most people probably don't know who Schoolie is. And Schoolie was like at one point in time was huge in Atlanta. Like that group was huge in Atlanta. Most
I
people.
wish I remember that clip. I had that clip where they was breaking down all the samples. I thought I said that was like.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. Yeah, that was a minute ago. I remember that, John. What else? It was. Oh yeah, this was a John that we supposed to talk about last week. But we could talk about this before we get into power. It was a woman and it was going viral and it was her birthday. So a dude texted her maybe or slid her DM a couple months ago, and she didn't respond. But then I guess it got closer to her birthday, so that she probably going through her DMs trying to scramble to see, oh damn, what dude to hit thirsty been begging to try to take me out. Get close to her birthday, she see this dude who tried to take her out before. She say, oh yeah, what's up? Boom, boom, boom. And he like, oh no, I'm cool. You should have hollered at me 2 months ago. I'm cool now. Whatever. And then she ended up posting it off of some your laws type, what I'm saying? Like basically she was trying to clown dude, but then everybody kind of was taking the dude side. Like, yeah, you was carrying him for months, and then your birthday probably came, birthday time, you probably thought you was about to do it big, and then your birthday come up and you see all the dudes you was probably giving cheeks to, they kind of ghosted you. Now you trying to look for the rebound so you can still get a free birthday dinner. And he was like, nah, I'm cool.
Us as men, shit that we gotta deal with. What?
Hey, all I'm gonna tell free game, y'all know I'm gonna tell y'all is only a couple of weeks away from Valentine's Day, so be careful with the extra friendly women right now. A lot of them gonna be extra friendly for these next couple of weeks because they trying to sink in who they about to have to be their Valentine's Day sucker. So you better be careful. Don't you keep thinking it's sweet. You keep thinking all the jumps on your heels. No, they on your heels because they know how close it is to February 14th, and you just not paying attention. So for all my fellas, you listening right now, keep it close because that little double back or that spin back or the women who shooting their shot a little bit extra harder, they only shooting it extra harder because they trying to lock down that Valentine's Day date. So hey, if you ain't got it to spin, better be careful. Oh, never mind. Let's go. Let that load up.
Get the mental trust shit. Tell you one thing, Phoenix is happy they got Grayson Allen right now.
Why? Because he hooping. bro. Again, it's so crazy how they have completely turned this character to like something completely different. Like, don't get it twisted. His demeanor is still the same, but it's just like the way
Shut the fuck up, god damn.
the way he just then turned his whole situation around is crazy. But real
Like
quick,
he's talking to.
I can't say that though, because it's like where he talking at now, it kind of makes sense. But it's just funny how because you're not used to his character talking.
And I think that's just like you showing too much emotion, kind of.
No, but I mean, he's human and he's been locked up. Like, dog, people be emotional. How you gonna say you can't say he's showing too much emotion? And you just literally a person an hour ago sitting here talking about men need to figure out how to show their emotions. Like, dog, I hear you, but that don't necessarily mean that he ain't supposed to be emotional. It ain't like his emotions is like all over the place on like some girly situation. He just kind of green to a little situation. Like even, but again, real quick before we do all that, give myself a round of applause for telling y'all last week that this is how you know when people be like, oh yeah, my jersey should be in the Raptors and I get the women. Though I know one thing I know about women, I know how to read some body language. And I read that body language with him and that Spanish woman from a mile away last week. And I told y'all, though she was flirting with him way too much, I knew she wanted to give him the cheeks. So people don't know what we're talking about. What is it? Are they Colombian? I don't even know what they are, but yeah, they're Colombian. But the Colombian connect, basically that the woman I told y'all last week when the cousin or whatever that was working at the bodega, the one did Joey Badass kidnap? What was that? Season 1 or season 2, whatever season that was when he kidnapped her. She was flirting with Ronnie. So of course they in the house and he didn't rough Ronnie. I mean he didn't rough Joey and them whole house, basically strong arm in the situation. And he had the lady in there and they was in there kissing and talking or whatever case it may be. And so unique baby mother walk into the situation. She walk into the house and then she freaked out like, what the hell you in here doing kissing a woman? And matter of fact, why is it the bodega lady in here? So of course he spazzed out on her, but the lady reading the room because she reading just the energy like, nah, this girl is really aggressive with you. And he kind of looking at her like she family, she green, she ain't about to do nothing to me. But she planted that seed again into his mind. So now he went. So when she said, nah, you gotta be careful because the way she talking to you, it seemed like it could be enemy. And he like, but nah, she family. He was like, well, that's the worst kind. That make it even 20 times worse because they know how to get you the best way. So when she put that in his mind, he went, of course, and ran down on her when she was going to her mom's house. And he kind of, talked to her in that little scary voice that he be doing and kind of just try to put the fear of God into her, let her know, like, don't forget.
But that's why I'm saying the feelings. Well, I'm like, nigga, well, you the one who took Unique away. Talking about what's name, the only person you got,
No, but that was him. That was him putting the fear in her, reminding her, like, don't get no bright ideas and don't act crazy because your son only got you left. He was reminding her. That ain't him getting emotional. That's him just giving her a friendly reminder of, like, don't cross that line because your son only got one parent now. So he was just giving her a little friendly reminder. But then shout outs to Rock back in the game, and she is again, like I said, sometimes I love when they show their character building skills because it's like you got to give them credit where they kind of showing you how, like, because in the previous seasons, we just already get to see the shop already open. Like you see them already in the projects and they already moving to work. Where with this one, you kind of get to see how thought out and well planned Rock's whole operation is. Like how she's staking out and watching each one of these carryouts that the Chinese man owned. She went to each one of them jobs and she paying attention to how this truck is in front of each one of these buildings. So she kind of like, what are y'all delivering and why y'all at all of his jumps? Why this same exact truck in front of each one of these spots? So that's why she even followed the jump to figure out, okay, this is where they're building at. Let me go ahead and talk to them. And of course, let's be clear. Most people, when we always talk about racism, we always think it's just a white or black thing. You got to actually see in that time where that man was like, no, we only sell to Chinese restaurants. We don't deal with nobody else. And she was basically like, all right, well, how you know I don't own no Chinese restaurants? And he kind of like, girl, get out of my goddamn face. Stop playing with me. You know what I mean when I'm saying that. I ain't saying that I just only serve Chinese. No, I only deal with my kind of people. You ain't one of mine. So get up out of my situation. Holler at you another time. So that happened. But then I like just the whole situation where even when the older Chinese man was eating his food and he was saying like, I'm cool with letting you come into my business, but I want a percentage of your business. I'm cool with taking the L's with you, but I want to win with you too. I want to be a partner. I don't want to just you trapping out my thing and you paying some rent to me. Nah, I want in on the business. So she basically was just like, all right, cool. Before I agree to it, let me see where the real estate at. Because I don't want to agree. And then you got a bunch of restaurants in horrible locations that ain't going to get no traffic anyway. So now I'm giving you a piece of my business and I'm going to be the one who have to do all the work. Because if you got good real estate, then the real estate can kind of almost sell itself. So, which realistically, he had the good real estate. So we're gonna see kind of how that play out, and I do want to see how she gonna figure out how to strong on whatever she got going on that truck. Because that truck gonna be in the play. Because they wouldn't have kept putting that truck in front of each one of the restaurants, so she not gonna figure out a way how to transport her drugs in that truck.
That's scary.
Why?
Because you don't know what's. I mean, dealing with Koreans, you don't know what the hell is on that truck.
Yeah, you don't know what's on that truck, but I mean, well, I need a clean way to sit here because you got to think about she's still hot. You got to think about one that FBI still on her to move it around to sit here and move whatever type of work she's trying to sell. She gonna need some type of way besides to just draw a bunch of attention to herself with, and plus she's supposed to be out of the game, so people just start seeing her around and start seeing all her people around again. It's gonna be a whole different ordeal. And then shout outs to Marvin. Marvin did an excellent job at just
being a parent.
Yeah, being a parent, and because it's so, but you know, but again, why
and being accountable partner.
Being an accountable partner, being an accountable partner, being a real friend, and being a parent. But again, when I'm talking about character development, just think about how, and let's just go for last season. Last season, if you was judging him off of a parent, you wouldn't have put him in the top matriarchy of parents where you would have thought he was an elite parent. You would have questioned his parenting skills. So for him to even show up to, hey, call my man out on his stuff that he got going on, but to at the same time to still show up for his kids in that place where they even felt comfortable calling him Uncle Marvin and all that. So it was just like, to me, that was tight. It was like he stepped up in situations where previous seasons or previous episodes we probably would have never thought that he would have knew how to show up like that. Because even think about it, even still, he's still having that. What was that? Just the last episode where him and Jukebox had that little conversation where he was kind of like, I want you to teach me how to be a better parent for you. And then she was kind of like, don't think about what you're really saying to me. But they still had that moment where he understands that I still need to learn, but that still didn't allow him that to hinder him on how I'm going to show up for my friend who need me. Like, he got a drug addiction. Let me help him battle this out to the best of the ability that I can possibly help him. Nah, yeah, that was crazy. For the fact that old boy left his kids in the car and they told him it looked like it was wintertime and he just got them in the car, ain't even running. He just got them sitting in the backseat of the car. And he in the house getting high. That was crazy, dog. Like, that was so crazy. And I do like that even just, I like, again, that they using a different character where it's not a black parent struck out, where they kind of showing you, like, yeah, the epidemic didn't just, of course, it hit the black community hard, but don't get it twisted and think other people in other communities wasn't affected about just the whole crack epidemic over, because he ain't even on crack. He's shooting heroin, and that's why you can see the needle. Like, for people who was watching and you didn't know, those little dots on his arms is where he was shooting up at. So you can just see it. It looked like he literally just came from the doctors or something. You see it just, and of course he white, so his arm bruised up differently. So you got to see that. What else was going on?
Jukebox.
Yeah, of course, Jukebox being Jukebox, and she was just she checked Ronnie, she checked Kanan, and I like the way, again, when we talked about last week, when you get to see that character development, when you get to see, oh, she's always the big cousin. And she reminded him, boy, I used to wipe your nose. Like, who you talking to? I'm not, you can say whatever you want to them, but I know you for real. You ain't talking to me the way you better talk to them. We gonna have a whole different conversation. But then even just after she left out, and then Ronnie tried to act like, hey, I could, you know me, if you want me to take care of it. He was like, you better not do nothing to my cousin. My family is off limits. What me and you got going on ain't got nothing to do with you and her. You better mind your business and keep it moving. But I even like, because realistically, you know, when his first run-ins with Ronnie, it kind of seemed like he may have been a little bit timid, or he may have been scared of him. So I do like the fact that you got to see both of them still kind of like, even when they were young, if I'm thinking in the back of my head from previous Power episodes, you know, like the original Power, how still aggressive and how gangster both of them was, you kind of got to still see the glimpse of that when they were young, that they wasn't no pushovers and they was kind of really ready to stand. Even like when she was about to walk into the joint, the two dudes right there, like trying to keep her from the joint, and she ain't back down or no nothing. Like, her demeanor don't never switch up. It don't matter who she talking to. She very aggressive and very just like her demeanor is her demeanor. So I do like that about Jukebox. And then I just even like that Kanan kind of finding his own confidence. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I kind of like the Jukebox snitched on him. When she went to Rock and she told, like, he out here, he not just on some petty little weed stuff no more. He messing with the big boys now.
You think the shorty in the group, she doing that shit on purpose?
Oh, the prettier one who supposed to be the lead or whatever the case may be. Yeah, of course she doing it on purpose. And she did it on purpose because Jukebox said something to her. Like, if Jukebox maybe not said nothing to her, she may have just let it slide. But because Jukebox tried to press her out and was like, "Oh, you leave my cousin alone. He dealing with such and such." Like, she kind of like, She was like, oh, yeah, okay, I got you. I'm kiss my ass. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I run this group, not you.
Officer Howard, talking, buddy.
Why you say that for what?
I think that conversation between the father and the ex-girlfriend, they about to dig in your shit. I think they starting to hit. She said, "I'm gonna leave it alone," but I think something's about to. I think they about to dig.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if it was from the conversation. I think it was just, to me, of course, because the father used to be an ex-police officer. I think his spidey senses is a little bit different. So even Howard having that conversation with him is just like,
you throwing me off, but I'm still, something don't sound
right. Yeah, something don't sound right, something don't feel right when we just having our conversations, and you can just kind of read that room. And like I said, his dad and her dad being an ex-police officer, I'm with you on that one. I don't necessarily know if he got anything to do with the girlfriend, but I do think it's just.
And then even with that little transfer, I feel like something's gonna come up when you ain't out of there in time.
I mean, yeah,
because he said, didn't he say that task force got a.
Oh yeah, they got to run it. They got to do a background check, and he was like, "You should be good as long as you wasn't a serial killer." And then he kind of, when he said that, he was like, right. Yeah, so yeah, you might be right. He on the clock, and then Lulu. Oh my god, no! I ain't gonna lie, I kind of felt.
Guarantee ties it right to them. Like just now that we found his body. I mean,
no, because the only person knows Howard. Remember, she didn't get to tell the other police officer.
Okay.
Yeah, he a demon for that. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't even say he a demon because
I mean, shit, he had no choice.
I ain't gonna say he ain't had no choice, but because he had a choice.
Yes, he had no choice. You already said she was singing, and she wants some answers. That's her child.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Dang, that was rough. He gave her a cold headshot. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I thought at first because of course, it clear as day if you watching, you can see that he gave her the headshot. She out of there. So the second shot, I thought he shot himself. I ain't gonna lie to you. You thought that too?
Because I fell asleep the first time I watched it. I didn't see how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
But I last remember when he said, "Oh, you gotta take care of that," him and and so when I watched it the day before I was playing, and I saw that that last part, and when I seen the two shots, I was.
Yeah, I thought he shot himself. I'm like, damn, what you got to shoot her again for?
Yeah, because and it's a crazy thing because when I was talking to my coworker, he was like, yeah, they settled. He took care of it, and that's what just me thinking in my mind. And then, like I said, when you hear the two shots, it's like, oh shit, this nigga off himself too.
Mm-hmm.
He was already tripping.
Yeah, that liquor had him like, yeah. Again, that's why I keep saying with the fit. We're going back to the conversation earlier, though. Just that. And even tying in what Carmelo said is just like, though, because that is a thing with black people. Like, we always looking for what's new, what's next. We so quick to, even just like when we talking about with Lil Baby, like how quick people are so ready to move on to what's next. I want to be the person who said this person is cold or this not cool no more. We on to this. So it's just like, even for TV, think about for that long run that 50 didn't had so far. We talking about we in season 3 with just Raising Kanan. We ain't even counting what regular Power had 6 seasons. Shit, and what they were going on to season 4 right now with the Tariq show. So you talking about that's 10 just off of just Power alone. Just Power, not these extra jumps, but just Tariq and Ghost. That's 10 years of TV. Mm-hmm. So and now you adding these extra jumps, and we ain't talking about BMF, we ain't talking about Tommy, and all of these shows continuously keep our attention. Don't get it twisted. Some of them may be bigger than other ones.
But then also we do gotta play. We gotta play into when we go. If we go back to that conversation we had earlier about when we used to talk about Lil Wayne and all that. And I said when some people find their out-of-vision or other sorts of to express themselves, mm-hmm. How do you tap in and keep it? You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, 50 ain't been making music.
No,
he been making shows. But you use your power from you coming from the music industry, your popularity. Mm-hmm. Everybody already loved me already. Now I'm on this and I'm doing this. You only gonna love me more.
For sure. So I can't disagree with you on that.
And it helped him, build that audience even more.
But I think for you can even kind of tie it into Joe Budden. I do think one thing you got to give people credit when you are smart enough to pull the plug on something else because you realize that people love you for something different. And that's one thing I can respect about Joe. Even when people always like when he do other interviews and people always try to ask him about, hey, why you don't do music no more? And he's always honest with himself, like, no, I know that y'all know that I had fans, but my audience was never as big as this podcast audience is. So I can respect for him saying, I'm cool with never putting out another song again if I don't, because I like you said, it's still a passion. I'm passionate about podcasting. When you listen to Joe speak, it don't matter if you agree or disagree with him, you can always hear the passion in when he speak. And with 50 Cent, yeah, I'm stopped making music, but you can see the passion that he has when it comes to TV, and you can see the passion that he got into his characters because he makes sure he even outside of the TV show when I'm doing my Tycoon weekends, or if I got shows, I'm bringing Braden and I'm bringing Tyreek and I'm bringing Tommy out. So my music audience, about Brandon, but I'm help Brandon and marketing them, and I'm help making people, even promoters, familiar with like, oh, I can put them on a flyer because 50 Cent is introducing them into a hip hop audience,
but still building this character.
Exactly. But again, that's why I'm saying, to me, that's why I'm holding Issa Rae to the fire a little bit, because it makes sense to like, dog, you should be able to put your pride. Why just not even just Issa Rae, but why not more established artists when we talking about actors wise? Why they don't sit here and put their pride aside and deal with 50? Because think about it, even for all his big characters, they brand new people or they hip hop people.
But that's my thing. Even before when I told you, why wouldn't you try to use the city girls to get more of audience for that type of show?
Yeah, I think I'm with you with that one. I think this with even for the city girls, I think they was just, because even when they did their Breakfast Club interview, it was just like they didn't even know that they even had any credits on the show.
And that's why I say, because like you say, how can you use a platform or even use somebody? So just imagine if Chrisean and them was doing like the recaps, or you know what I'm saying, like, oh, this city, you know what I'm saying, like if you would have used that, that's you can gain more audience.
You know the crazy thing is
that for real,
you know the crazy thing is what you just said absolutely would have been genius if they were doing the recaps. If they was doing let's say they was doing a podcast recap, because for all Issa Rae shows, she do be having like, but she had like Jesse Wu and some gay dude doing it. But you're absolutely right. That would have been better if it was Young Miami and JT doing the recaps to every episode. And they could have been doing them with the girls, like them. They could have just been them four together, or you could have did it with Young Miami and Saucy Santana or whoever. But you're right, absolutely right. You should have tied the city girls into doing a recap podcast for every episode. And then they posting it on Instagram and YouTube, because guess what? More people would have seen it. It don't have to be behind on HBO Max or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have used them, because I don't necessarily know. Like I don't follow Jessie Wu because she don't do nothing for me. Like it's just like she cool, but I don't really care.
But that's why I say I feel like sometimes it's just how can you utilize your platform. And even with like we go back to 50, he's tapped into the music industry. He's tapped into the, you know what I'm saying? Like I still have that 50 Cent. At least Issa Rae, I don't know her background beforehand, but I'm sure it's not, you don't still have that reach like a 50 would have into that kind of audience. So that's why, even like I say, if you use somebody like the City Girls to try to get more of that audience to watch that show and even talk about it, then that way you can see those numbers going up. Because like I said, we saw with Carisha Please show.
No, for sure, of course. To me, what you just said, that would have been a genius idea. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was great. I'm that's tight that you even thought of that, because I definitely wouldn't. I didn't even think about that. And that was absolutely, probably realistically would have been the perfect idea for them. But again, like I said, that was another great episode of, I don't think we ain't missed nothing else off of ST that last episode. I don't think so. I feel like we kind of touched every last point on that one. Let this load up. There we